All right, we're back to racing here. Let's get the thing started. They are lined up and ready to go. We're going right into green once the cars come through. This is the Youth NA Restricted. Let's meet the drivers. Car number 125, Ella Warner in P1. P2 will be 733 of Nixon McCormick. Row 2, 548 of Harper McKinney. The number 970 car right next to Harper is Jake Hill. Crewhart will round off row number 3, and Ryder Greco right next to him in the car number 151. The 223 car of Liam Caldwell will start in row 4, and Hudson McCormick will be in row 4. I expect to see a McCormick up here. Where are they? Am I going to see Brian or a few others up here? Because we got the other half of the McCormick crew here, and they are here for the Naturally Aspirated race. And I do believe our race director says they're going green immediately. So the Jones Ford Ram truck will pull off right away. No lap. They're going right into racing. We got a green flag. A great picture you can see going right into turn 1 there. Eight cars strong, lots of rubbing going down the back straightaway. 2 cars there. The tail end, shuffling for a spot. But the battle emerging out front. And I do believe that's the Greco car. That number 125 is Ella Warner. And Nixon McCormick still. Oh, they touched going into turn 4. We've got a pile up and collected Ella Warner. And the 12 West car, the 737 of Nixon McCormick. But Nixon back on it, but Ella Warner still having yet to get back into the action. Wow, lots of cars there coming out of turn 6. And you can't see there on the live track feed. There it is. Like I say, we have a car over on their side. And by the looks of it, that is... Let me see here what we got going on. Give me a second. Ella Warner, do we have Nixon McCormick accounted for? And we'll find out right now. I do believe that's Nixon McCormick over there in turn 5 or 6 rather. Yes, indeed. That is Nixon McCormick over on their side. Nixon having a line up with Ella Warner, the 125 car, in turn 4, and then puts the car on the side in turn 6. Great overhead view of the local yellow. And don't know what's going on here. A couple cars way off the track. Didn't get to see what happened there. So lots of position changes there in the first few laps of this race. Ella Warner now trying to get back up with the leaders. Ella Warner. And there's Nixon McCormick in the 737 car. Must be fine. And our race leader now, Harper McKinney in the 548 car. And I do believe unofficially the 151 car of Ryder Greco is in second. All right. Let me physically look out on the track here because I do believe our overlay might be mixed up a little bit. Well, let's see. Let me compare here as we come by. Harper McKinney, 548. Ryder Greco. There it is. The 151. And the 909, unofficially, your top three. Hudson McCormick. All right, let me make sure I got this straight now. Been calling it wrong. It is Jake Hill, the 970 car, out front. Ryder Greco, 151 in second. And the 548 car of Harper McKinney, from what I can see from my vantage point from the booth here. Very exciting first few laps here. Mia Chapman, lots of position changes and a little bit of a rollover from the McCormick crew of the 737 Nixon McCormick, but back out on the track.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like this class always brings the action to the track, and it's always one to watch for, and you never quite know how it's going to end. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes, but a wild start for sure.
Lots of heavy hitters in this class. Ryder Greco, and Jake Hill. You've seen Jake here all day so far, up on the podium here earlier. But we've got a lot of drivers out here. Harper McKinney doing a great job here holding down the third and fourth position. Looks like we have another change. The Caldwell car once in now. Liam Caldwell, the number 223. So let's see how we got it. You can see a great shot there of the 970 of Jake Hill. But this is the car of the race right here. Ella Warner, after coming into turn forward, collecting Nixon McCormick, the 737 there. But now Crew Hart, the 36 car coming down, leading that pack. Great shot there coming into turn 5. Whoa! That's the McCormick car. Nixon McCormick over again. Great drone work there. Brian did a fabulous job. That looked like a pretty easy rollover. But that's the second time Nixon McCormick has been on the lid. We were just talking to about it, Riley Pierce being the turtle. That's not quite a full turtle there. We'll call that the half turtle. So Jake Hill now, and this is where we were talking about it. The competition yellow is going to be great for the rest of the field here to get back into the race, but Ryder Greco, I think, is bridging the gap right now. Ryder Greco getting a little faster as each lap goes. Wow, turn 4, Ella Warner definitely proven that turn 4 is one to be reckoned with. You got to have it set just right into turn 4, and once you get into turn 4, you have to commit, and that's very important if you're going to be pitching these cars sideways in short course racing.
Definitely, yeah. I think as the day goes on, too, it also develops so much more ruts. It starts to get a little bit more dry, the more cars that run on it. So definitely a tough factor, too. You definitely don't want to go in there timid and not on the gas. So, yeah, it's quite a crucial corner as well.
So let me ask you this. Very similar to motocross, we have an expression in motocross that says, when in doubt, gas it out. Is that the same? Does it apply to the four-wheel vehicles going into a corner? Is the gas your friend, or can it get you into trouble?
I think a little bit of both, right? I think it just depends kind of what situation you're in. Most of the time, it can definitely get you out of it, though.
I think I agree with you 100% that it depends on the situation, but you know what I'm going to go with? I'm gassing it every time. If I come around, I'm going around.
Your steering wheel can definitely also save you as well.
Absolutely.
Especially when you get up on the bike and turn, out of it, put you back on 2. But that's just something you learn, as a racer, like most of these kids are doing.
Now that brings me to another question of when we talk about ratio for your steering wheel. These cars have a great ratio as they come off the showroom floor, but however, in short course racing, you want a little, what we call a steering quickener. Do you run a steering quickener, and at what ratio do you remember you run?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't remember what's in my car right now. It's been a little bit since I've been in it, but yeah, those are a big help, especially when you're doing this type of racing where every movement needs to be quick and precise.
I've done in the off-road truck that I had, and one of the boys, I used to run with the Munzas, and they had one. They had a 2-to-1 on there, but they both went down to a 1-5-to-1, and they had the 2-to-1, and I said, well, let me give it a try, and I ended up loving it. They didn't like it so much, but I ended up loving it because I put the 2-to-1 ratio on the Bronco, so it had a shorter wheelbase. So that 2-to-1, I mean, from lock to lock, it was barely maybe 2/3 of a turn, but the wheel could still go, but it's not turning it anymore. So just one hand on the wheel, power steering, the steering quickener, I think for short course racing is truly the hot setup. Well, there it is. Jake Hill, with all the position changes, getting out front, but now having to relinquish that lead and bunch him up here for the competition yellow.
Yeah, the restarts always tend to be a little wild, so hopefully we can keep it clean and finish the second half of the race off.
Well, Ryder Greco, though, too, looking fabulous out here, pairing up against Jake Hill for the lead here, and I have a feeling we're going to have a little bit of battle. I do believe that Ryder Greco was actually catching Jake Hill here, so we'll see how that transpires here on the second half. We got it coming up right now, and this is the reason why we do the competition yellow. I mean, it could be either Jake or Greco. They've raced all series for 2024, so to see what they're going to do for the opening race here, round one out here at Firebird, this is going to be the barn burner. So check it out. It's coming up. We're going green. A little bit of a bunch up on the start. Man, great to see Nixon McCormick still out there in the 737 car. Nixon McCormick still on the lead lap, I believe. And Nixon McCormick been over on the semi-turtle twice already. On the half turtle. Whoa, 2 more cars. Nixon McCormick. Great drone view of the cars right there. Hope both drivers are okay. I have a feeling this is going to bring out a full course yellow. Don't quote me. Everything I mostly say is unofficial. And that's always got to be tough, too, when you have this kind of an accident where you have to do a full course yellow for safety. And indeed, we are bringing out full course caution. At the bottom of that again, Nixon McCormick.
Yeah, some tough luck for sure. It's just, that's a racing incident that happens. You know, everybody's going into that turn really hot and kind of hard to come out clean, but it happens. They'll get them rolled back over, and yeah, we'll get back going here soon, hopefully.
Well, indeed, I think the full course caution was the right call here. I hope both drivers are okay. I can't believe it, though, but that car still looks like it's all right. I did not get to see it. Lots of bumping going on in this race, so we'll see how both drivers, if they get the cars back over and everything's fine, we'll see how it goes. So great shot right there. You can see the inner workings of the way that this track is built. While we're taking this brief pause, I got to tell you, Mia Chapman, HMD, is here in the building. They got a booth here this time. And HMD, what a great job they here. They are taking over everything for us here at Core. And we are very excited that HMD has been with us since day one. And they're out of Tempe, Arizona. The graphics, wraps, banners, cards, whatever you need right out of Tempe. HMD Racing, they're here. They got a car here tonight, or today rather. And It's awesome to look out there. HMD, great job having them out here.
Definitely, yeah. Everything looks great here with all the core branding and everything. So, yeah, very thankful to have them out here for sure.
Definitely looks great out here. Big props also to Performance Machine. Performance Machine has been with us for quite a while, and it is great to have them on here as one of our sponsors for this year. R&R Steel, the Van Beekums, they really truly believe in core and what it stands for. And, man, we haven't had the word spicy all day today, but I think we finally got it here in turn 2. Nixon McCormick definitely keeping things spicy. In fact, Jason Ramsey, he asked me last time, hey, how many times did you say spicy last race? I don't think we said it at all. I told him I had to tell him that. I think I said, oh, a few. I think I fibbed a little bit. but we can finally say, the race got spicy. That's the way you got to say it. Your normal announcer's voice. And then you got to go, it got spicy. No? It's like I should be that, I should be the announcer for the movie Phone Guy. This summer, Arnold Schwarzenegger is. See, I can do that. All right. Well, back to racing. We still got the cars over in turn 2 over there. You can see it there to the right of your screen right now. Hopefully the drivers are okay. We are at a full course caution, and the cars now actually are stopped on the tarmac just out of view. This happens when we really have to attend to the cars, get the cars off, or the driver. Hopefully there's no injuries here. Declan Shields already had to be pulled off by the EMTs. And let's hope that both these drivers are okay as well. Well, let's talk more about our sponsors, HMD. They've actually stepped up. HMD has been here. That's why they're here today. So if you guys don't go by and see what they can do, at least go by them and tell them how thankful you guys are for having them here. I can't say enough about HMD. Like I said, bringing the truck out here, you guys could go see the quality of the wrap right there on the truck. I think it is very classic and very clean, the way they have it out here. All our banners, everything that make us look so good have been brought to you by HMD, and I just can't say enough about them. So what about the weather today, man? You know, it was cold in the beginning, but it is simply perfect right here. No breeze. It's not that hot. It has got to be simply perfect right now.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. Definitely the ideal race weather we'd want out here. Yeah, it definitely helps the track to stay in more tack too, because it's not hot, it's not windy, it's cool and nice, and I'm sure the racers enjoy it being in those cars. It can get pretty hot.
Well, I mean, I think I've only seen the water truck out here once. So far, the track's maintaining its moisture. You know, it's very arid out here in Arizona. I mean, it's in the name, arid zone, Arizona. But today, I think there's McCormick. I haven't seen it. Hey, Brian, is Nixon all right? All right. I was wondering if I was going to see him out here. I was saying, where is McCormick? There he is right there. Look at his hair. Look at his bushy hair. Remember when he used to shave it like me? Look, it took me a second to recognize him. He had a hat on. His hair was sticking out. But, so Nixon's all right then? All right. Man, on fire, though. I had that car over on that slid, though. Now it's the third time of the race. Wanting it. All right.
Where did the other two go? Did they haul them out? Yeah, we told them to just come on in.
Oh, okay.
Once forklifts went out, Nixon probably drove in.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's all okay. We just heard from Brian McCormick that Nixon is all right. There's a lot of McCormicks out here this weekend. So it's keeping track. And it's put two young ladies out of a race.
That's right.
We were missing Allie in the last race. She was supposed to be up there, but Allie, you want to come over and give me an interview? You want to come here? All right. We're gonna talk with we're gonna talk with Allie really quick here. Haven't been able to talk with her all weekend. Feels weird talking to this young lady. Is, you know, I mean, you're just a staple out here at course. So how does it feel watching the race from the sidelines?
I'm not nervous.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's good. I mean, you are very emotional, very passionate about your racing. So I would figure, was sitting here watching this though, it would be the opposite. I figured you'd have anxiety wanting to be out there.
Yeah, it was kind of sad seeing like the 170s driving earlier because it's like really fun and I kind of miss my car.
Well, yeah, you
But-
definitely. Well, no, you're not done racing though, are you? Still going to be racing.
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet. All right. I mean, I'm imagining that's a decision for you to make, right?
Kinda.
Kinda. All right. Well, I know it was up to Dad. You guys would race all the way until you're 93.
Yeah.
All right, but you're still passionate about racing? It's got to be fun, right?
Yeah, it's so fun.
I mean, man, I would love to race at that level. This young lady, same thing. I remember when she was your age, and believe it or not, I used to interview her when she was your age. So I know how passionate she is. Well, all right. I hope to see you out here again. And you guys are just in town to watch the cars then.
That's one of the reasons, yeah.
What's another one?
Well, my dad for work, and we were dropping off the cars.
Oh, all right. Well, I hope to see you back out here as soon as possible.
Yeah,
All right.
hopefully.
All right, hopefully. Well, Mia Chapman, that's quite a story right there in itself. Their cars are out here being raced by the McCormicks, and you know, like I said, I think the McCormicks are four kids strong, and I guess they're all out here racing. So thanks to them.
Yeah, I definitely love to see it, especially when it's a family affair and you got the whole family out here. You race, now the kids are now racing, and now you get to focus and watch them do it. So yeah, it's really cool.
I have a 13-year-old right now, and he just started on the full-size motocross bikes. And I remember riding with him the other day and thinking to myself, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Everything I'm going to do now, I'm piling into him. And that's kind of how it happens. You get the kids out here. Same thing with you. I think you said your dad was a racer before you started. So, and he probably hasn't raced a race since got you guys into it. Well, anyhow, back to the race. It's on the course right now. And this is where the competition helps or hurts, but according to the overlay, Harper McKinney out front. But to my eyes, it looks like Jake Hill. So Jake Hill out front. Again, unofficial. Looks like it's Jake Hill, Harper McKinney, and then Ella Warner back into action. No, that's Greco. Jake Hill, Greco, Ella Warner. Business as usual in this class, those top three right there. Indeed, white flag flies for Jake Hill. Our overlay is not correct right now. So it's Jake Hill and Ryder Greco. I've said Carson Greco, and it's not. It's Ryder Greco. Got to get this. And there it is. Great shot behind Jake Hill coming over the ski jump. And Mia Chapman, I don't know if you noticed, coming into turn 3, they mowed down the kicker. So now the kicker a little less abrupt. And I guess the one out of turn 3 also. So now they're no longer that abrupt. Don't know if you guys have been tuned in all day watching the changes. So the kickers now before and after turn 3 have been mowed down. Quite a bit. Just one more turn to go, and your unofficial winner, Jake Hill. And second place on 151 of Ryder Greco. And that one I'm not going to know if it is 548. That's Harper McKinney in third. But right behind Harper McKinney, physically on the course, was Crew Hart. So it's going to be interesting to see what the third place is there.
Definitely, yeah. That was a pretty close race between the top 4. So definitely some awesome battles going on. And, you know, all the kids are getting faster and faster and new names popping in here. So, yeah, it's great to see.
We've conversed about what class is the ultimate beginner class, but this one right here, the Youth NA Restricted, very competitive class, and I think this actually is the next step out of the 800s because these are full 1,000cc cars. They're fast, they're big. An adult could fit in here. You know, they're configured for the younger kids, but hence why we call this class the Youth NA Restricted. But these are still full-blown race cars that are capable of the highest speeds that a side-by-side can attain. They may be restricted to, whatever their restrictions are, but they're still very fast. They're still very competitive. And even though these cars are faster, you still have to be the right driver for these cars. All right, let's talk with the drivers. All right. Lots of position changes here in that race. But we made it through it, and what a great turnout this was. Harper McKinney able to get back into third place and get the final spot on the podium. So let's talk with the drivers here. Harper, come on up here. Greco, let's go. But your winner, Jake Hill. But your winner, though. All right, boys. Wow. All right. Well, Harper, man, lots of position changes there. That was quite nice, very visually spectacular, great to announce. But, man, take us from the track action down there.
Yeah, at the fourth lap, I got bumped real hard and only had one-wheel drive for 6 laps. So just had to fight through that.
You really had to drive then?
Yeah.
Man, you looked great out there. Tell us more.
I saw a couple of bad rolls happen, like right.
Check.
Saw someone roll and then someone drive on top of them. Hope they're okay, but yeah, I saw a lot of intense rolls.
That was a big one right there, and it was pretty scary. Brought out the competition yellow. Able to get your senses together, though, and cut back. And even with one-wheel drive, you were able to get it done.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's talk about the people that make it happen for you.
My mom, my dad, Apex, Allcoat, and all my friends and family for supporting me.
All right, lots to endure there. Harper McKinney still getting a third done, getting a final transfer onto this podium. All right, now Ryder Greco. Oh man, lots of people over here giving you congratulations for this. This isn't your first podium, is it?
Yes, it is.
I was just making sure. I wanted to make sure because first race ever. Okay, that's the real big deal. First race, first podium. And when you get to say that, that's a big deal because there are people that will race for years and never make the podium.
Yeah.
Does that feel good?
Yes.
All right, what do you attribute to you making the podium to?
My mom, my dad, No Limit Turf, 2X Motorsports, Brandon with Evo, and really just my dad. And he's just made this whole thing happen, and my mom.
All right, well, that was the long list of sponsors and people that make it happen. But, man, I think you drove just fine. You were there. I think you drove very smart, and you were able to put together a great race. Now, let me ask you this. You think you got it in tomorrow to put it on top?
Absolutely.
All right, that's what I want to hear. Well, congratulations. First win, our first race, first win, our first second place podium. How about that? He's like, yeah, that one I'll see. Yeah, that smile said it all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. But, man, Jake Hill, you had to put it down. Ain't seen you all weekend. But, man, you had your hands full, too. Our overlay was giving me all kinds of things. So if you go back and listen to it, I had to really just continue to watch you. Great race out there. Looked like business as usual for you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. What's the secret for 2025 season? What are you going to do?
Try to win more races.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, let's talk about the people that make it happen.
I want to thank my dad, my mom, my sister, Zach, also known as Wheelie King, the Vales, CMI, Hill Marine, Gates Belts, Redline Oil, Signature Propellers, CMI, I don't know if I said Sneaky, and everyone else. Thank you.
All right, let me get out of the way here. You boys smile. Man, that's a big deal, Ryder Greco. And it was crazy. I think, Ryder, I think I have lots of apologies for you because I kept saying Carson Greco, and it was you. So congratulations, Field. Hey, Mia Chapman, we got another race. Let's meet the drivers. All right. Well, here it is. We've been talking about the classes as the day goes on. Getting a little more fast, getting a little more competitive, and here it is. The Pro and Amateur NA. And Mia Chapman, I would love for you to do the honors. If he is running Pro, that's our Pro class, that's our amateurs, is that right? This is Pro? Okay, back to there. Rock and roll.
In row one of our amateur NA class, we have the number 32 of Ryder Chapman. Right next to him, the 155 of Carson Greco. Second row, the 951 of Brian Willett. And the 295 of Michael Bernstein. Row number 3, the 119 of Cole Werner. Right next to him, the 431 of Brees Seek. And rounding out that fourth row, the 498 of James Cummings.
Wow, indeed, what a packed field that is. And now also out there, the Pro class. We have 4 of them out here, and I'd love to see this name out here. But Ryder Van Beekum stepping up here into the Pro class. He's been going up against his dad, Ryder Van Beekum, the number 1 qualifier. in the pro class, and TJ Sievers right next to him. And, this is going to be quite the race. And we were talking with TJ's dad, and we're talking about if Bobby Van Beekem can keep the engine together, he's very tough to beat. But, man, Ryder Van Beekem simply on fire, your fastest qualifier. And TJ Sievers, been a long-time racer out here, started racing a lot back east, but, man, he's come back. He is back in Arizona here to see what he can do against these pros. And rounding off that field, the number 922 of Trent Colette. Olets. I always say it's a Q, but it's an O. Olets. I do need glasses. I actually have glasses behind me. I refuse to wear them, though. I refuse. So anyhow, what a great race is going to be. Ryder Chapman, though, still your number one qualifier here in the amateurs. And Brian Willett, a lot of those, Cole Warner, it could still be any one of those. They are only just mere half seconds away from each other. Carson Greco was very hard when Ryder Greco was just now out on the course to not say Carson Greco. And I was saying Carson a couple times just because Carson Greco, a veteran now in the core series. But now Ryder Greco, first race out and second place podium. First race, first win. Or first podium. That's excellent. So congratulations to the Greco, already enjoying one of them on the podium. But Carson Greco has the speed to reel in Ryder Chapman and Brian Willett, and it's one way or the other in the amateur ranks. It's going to be a great race.
Definitely, yeah. This race is always packed with action. You never really know which way it's going to go, but it's going to be a good one out here, so we'll get that going here pretty quick.
Well, the one race, we've heard Bobby Van Beekem say it. It's just great to be out on the course with my kid, But now it means something. Ryder is now in the pro ranks, so now Ryder is no longer it's not just a family, father-son affair right now, just being out on the course. Now it is. They are competing against each other in the same class. So family or not, there is a definite different dynamic that is going to be, and I have a feeling we're going to see it unfold right here. Now, between those two, the Van Beekems, TJ Sievers has the speed and the skill to get the job done in the pro class. So we're about to find out. We're going to do one lap away. And you can see TJ's car right there rocking the American flag. And what a stacked field that is. Ladies and gentlemen, right here at Firebird, you better be ready for this because we're about to see some of the fastest cars of the weekend right now. Want to say special thanks once again to the Big O Tires out there on Rural Road. Adam Grunder, walk in there and tell him, hey man, I heard the announcer out there at Core say you guys are the ones. They have everything from the Big O Tires brand. I just recently got some BFGs from Big O, and I just got to tell you, man, those BFGs are not cheap anymore. Not that they have ever been necessarily cheap, but I'm just going to tell you that is the first time I've ever paid full retail for a BFG in my life. And what an amazing tire, though. For me, it will always be BFG. And even if I had to race without their support, I have a feeling I would still run the BFGs. So, all right, Mia Chapman, what's your prediction for the amateur race?
Man, it's hard to say. It's such a stacked field with so much talent. Obviously rooting for my brother out there, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. You never really know. A lot can happen in, these 10 laps. So.
Well, your brother played it smart here for the 2025 four-race season, staying in one more time for the amateur ranks. I think this should definitely be his last. I mean, I'm just talking. In other words, just to talk it out. But
it's a tough thing because I think we forget how young these kids actually are because he's only 15. So, he's still learning and developing as a driver. And, he has the skills to run in pro, but at the same time, he is pretty young. Let's, keep pushing, keep learning, and doing as best as we can. But
absolutely, I agree. Brian Willett, though, he has the speed, too. He's been consistent all season long for 2024. I do expect to see some wins out of him. I'm actually a fan of Brian Willett. You can actually see the way that they drive in their styling, the way they enter a corner or accelerate. So I don't know what it is about Brian Willett. I'm a fan of his. Carson Greco, just as solid as concrete. He can put in the same performance at any given course. So it's going to be great to see the top three right there performing that. But man, Van Beekum and TJ Sievers, that's a shot in the dark. Here we go. Green flag. Everybody started perfect. As the 4 pros lead the field into turn 1. And I do believe the black car is Bobby Van Beekum. And there's that move I was talking about. TJ Sievers to the inside. Comes out in front. And now your brother out there running with the pros. Yeah, that 15-year-old's doing great. Me and Chapman, I don't even know what to say right now. Your brother is in the amateurs, and he was just leading this race. He's going to do it again, coming down the front straightaway. Well, man, how the heck are you today? Good race earlier. You did just fine. How did it feel for you?
Felt good.
I mean, you know, podium's a podium. I know that's not where you like to finish, but, you know, I think you did just fine out there. You looked good.
Yeah, I was watching some of the bigger cars do qualifying, and I tried to keep in those lines, but looks like I just didn't remember. But I'm gonna keep trying to figure out how to get the best lines, and then I'm gonna, right when the green flag waves tomorrow, I'm gonna just book it, try and get in the middle and plow through. So if I can do that, I'm gonna try and stay on the gas in corner 1 so I can get first. And if I get first, I'm gonna be very happy.
I think you got the speed and the skill, so good luck for the next race.
Thank you.
All right, that's awesome right there to hear from that young man. But back to this racing right now. TJ Sievers out front of the pro class. And this man, this little young 15-year-old, number 32, Ryder Chapman, the amateur, leading the fastest racers on the track this weekend. All 4 pros are behind him right now. In fact, the entire field is behind him right now. What a weekend it is going to be for this young man. What a weekend. I say put him in pro right now. I say change his classification. That young man has got it. And I know you're nervous with that, but look at him. He's driving like a pro.
I just don't think he needs to move up before he needs to, you know what
I do. I agree. Uh-oh. I think I just got in trouble with Mia Chapman. But man, he just looks great to be out there. I guess I'm so excited for him, you know what I mean? And I think that's why I get all excited like that. I love it. I feel so good for him. But anyhow, it's still looking great out there. He is in complete control of the amateur class. And that, I didn't even see it, but TJ Sievers right now out front of the pros. Oh! And we got a lead change. And I do believe the black car is Ryder Van Beekum, or is that Bobby? I think Ryder drives the black cars, and Bobby drives the red, white, and blue cars. So, now we've got the riders again, their classic battle. Youngster against youngster. Where's Bobby? And Bobby, unfortunately, at the rear of the pack. And now Carson Greco challenging. And there it is. Carson Greco and TJ Sievers, they've got a battle on their hands. Check it out right there from the view on the tarmac. TJ Sievers, does he know he's got one of the Core Series bets on his hands? As there, oh! And TJ with some smoke. What is gonna happen now when he lets off here? You'll see. And I'm wondering if TJ Severs is going to have catastrophic failure now, because that's a lot of smoke coming out of the back of that car down the finish straight. Oh! Carson Greco, what a fabulous job keeping that car together. Wow! Mia Chapman, we've got a race on our hands.
This race is definitely one of them you don't want to take your eyes off of, or you're missing something out there on the track.
So I have concern about TJ Severs. Lots of smoke coming from that car. And I'm wondering if that's going to lead to catastrophic failure or what they're going to do. And I'm not trying to manifest it right now, but down the front straightaway, when he lets off on that car, tons of smoke. But now we got smoke. Oh, it's the rear wheel of Carson Greco. He's going to have to retire or at least get his rear wheel changed. Carson Greco, as you see coming over the ski jump right there. Oh, is that? Well, let's see here. All right, Mia Chapman, I think you might be right. So much action going on in this race, it is hard to keep. Both Van Beekham's still running. Ryder Chapman still out front. And now we've got the full course caution coming up. So TJ Severs with lots of smoke pouring out of the exhaust of that car. Carson Greco. But as you see, tons of stuff coming. I think he has a right rear tire going down. He's pulling off at this point. He's just beelining it for the pit. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, he is just beelining it for the pit. That's probably not the way I would have taken, but okay. Yeah, he's definitely got a flat tire. Well, all right, Mia Chapman, let's recap. Ryder Chapman, wire to wire here in the amateur, out front early.
Yeah, definitely managed to stay out of the chaos a little bit. So, yeah, awesome to see, but so much talent in this class. I mean, it's hard for us to sit here and call it because there's always something happening going on the track. So we'll see what happens whenever we regroup these drivers and then start them back going again.
Man, I have to 100% agree with you. Again, as usual, Mia Chapman, your calls are right on point. This is very hard to call because absolutely these are some very talented drivers in both the pro and amateur class. But man, so much drama so far. TJ Severs, he's letting out a lot of smoke, but he is in the lead right now of our pro class, but had a lot of Carson Greco there and in the action. And he's out there in the red car, the number 970. But, or 951 rather. You'll see right there. But, and then having the amateur and pro run together and see where the rest of the class, I think this entire class, including the amateurs, have the speed, as you see, to race either class. So I think they're very evenly matched, and it is great to see this class mixed like this. But man, the drama between TJ Severs out there and Carson Greco, Carson Greco, not even in that class, but is chasing down your brother. And it just makes for an interesting race, no matter what. So I think you're right, hard to call.
Yeah, that was quite the battle going on. Really didn't know which way that was going to end up.
Well, hats off to Carson Greco for keeping that car together coming down after the turn 3. They definitely touched TJ Severs, and Carson Greco touched hard enough to pop the rear tire. But the fact that Carson Greco, we were just talking about that, gassing it out, and I have a feeling that Carson Greco was on the gas to keep that car straight and get it right back on the course. Well, anyhow, second half coming up right now. TJ Sievers, a lot of smoke coming out of that car. Let's hope that is not catastrophic. And we'll find out. But man, here we go. Back to green. Here we go. And a perfect start once again the second half. You'll see the smoke out of TJ's car after they come down the front straightaway. TJ now challenging Ryder Chapman down the back straightaway. Ryder Chapman closing the door. And now Bobby Van Beekem up front. And it would appear that Ryder Van Beekem has retired. Some unforeseen thing. And Carson Greco hopefully stayed on the lead lap, but now has got a long way to go. And Bobby Van Beekem having issues with the car. Perfect setup right there in turn 5. And you know, from that angle, oh, there's Ryder right there. Oh, definitely out of the race. TJ Seaver is challenging the amateur Ryder Chapman down the front straightaway. And TJ having to get on the biters once again. Ryder Chapman closing the door down the back straightaway. I think TJ's got the speed down the back straightaway, but Ryder definitely closed the door. A TJ to the inside. And Ryder Chapman with an obvious problem with the steering. Must have broke. That looked pretty heavy, that steering for sure.
Definitely looks like a steering problem, possibly something bent or broken in the front.
Steering or a broken axle, and he can't keep it straight. He's trying to finish. He's limping it in. Ah, that's a heartbreak for Ryder Chapman. Well, now let's make sense of this. The 922 car out front. That is Trent Olet. But now TJ Sievers, and Trent Olet is a pro. So Trent putting down a race in the second half. Trent just stayed back, played it cool, and now finds himself out front. Yeah, he's lost an axle or something on that car. Yeah, I don't know if I'd stay out there.
It's tough because you stay out there, you finish the race, you get the points with 2 to go. I mean, I don't know. Got to make a decision there.
He's trying his best to keep that car straight.
I believe he could still have a podium spot if he finishes, so that possibly might come into play too. But man, a lot of our heavy hitters are already getting taken out of this race, but definitely not lacking any action here.
Heck no, we're not. You called it before this started. There's going to be a lot of action. But Trent Olet right now stayed cool. And now Brian Willett, I do believe, is going to be inherit the top spot on the amateur race. Lots of position changes in this race. Trent Olet, just 4 more corners to negotiate, and he's going to be on top of the pros. What was your class?
170 intermediate.
That is a good question. We're both Mia Chapman and I are trying to work that out. But Trent Olet looks like he's going to run away with the pros, being patient, and he was there to pick it up when all the carnage and all the dust settled. And TJ Sievers, and now we see Bobby out of the race now. Bobby Van Beekem out. Ryder Chapman able to keep it together. All right. I don't know. Here's our class. Well, me and Chapman, this is just anybody's race to call here. I think we did a pretty good job with what we saw from our perspective, but let's see if I got it straight here. Trent Olet, your winner of the pro class. And he's wrecked, but he won. That's Trent. Wow. But he crossed the finish line. Oh my gosh. All right, everybody, I'm going to try my best. Once again, this is 100% unofficial. Trent Olet, your winner. TJ Sievers, second place. And third place, it's just Trent and TJ in the pro class. I made Chapman over there to make sure Trent's all right. I'll talk with her dad. All right. All right, that's right. Big round of applause. Let it appear that driver is okay. And now let's see if I can make some sense of the amateur class. It's going to be Brian Willett. It's going to be Michael Bernstein. And then Carson Greco, unofficially, your 1, 2, and 3 of the amateur class. So we'll talk with them here. Got a little bit of cleanup to do, so sit tight, everybody. And we'll see how this is going to shape up. Trent Olet is out of the car right there, so walking around just fine. So no imminent danger to Trent. But he's going to have to walk up here to the podium. Michael Bernstein, second. Carson Greco, third. Right.
Can you hand this to Jen? Or not Jen, but
Lisa. Or Jen. One of the two.
can you hand that to the girls?
Sure. You got it. Thank you. You're okay. Well, all right. Let's get the winners of the amateur up there. Let's get it up there. Carson Greco, third place. Michael Bernstein, second. And Brian Willett on top of the box. Let's get you boys up there and let's get those interviews started. No problem at all. No hurry, no worries. Take your time.
Got it?
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to. Yep, that's fine. Got it? All right. Yep. You got it. Right there. here. You got it. Yep. Second.
But this isn't pro, right?
No, we're doing amateurs first. At least that's the way I called it, and I apologize. All right, Brian, get up there. Yeah, that's right. Oh man, after Ryder being up here, I kept calling Ryder Carson. So man, what a race you had! And the first thing, let's talk about what happened coming out of turn 3 right there. The fact that you were able to keep that car in all fours after that high-speed contact right there. What was going through your head?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, but I mean, it happens sometimes.
Man, it was unfortunate you had to take a tire down, but man, you were able to get back on the lead lap and get it here to third.
Yeah.
All right, that's some great driving, man. I've seen a lot from you, but this has to top it right here.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, let's hear the people that make your race program happen.
My mom, my dad, 2X Motorsports, Renegade for my fuel, Evo Mode and Brandon for tuning my car, and R&R Steel, and Core for putting on this awesome series.
Well, we're lucky to have you guys make some noise. Third place, Carson Greco. But Michael Birdseed taking nothing away from you, my man. You raced your butt off right there, and that was very challenging and incredible to watch.
Yeah, it was. Towards the end, I ran out of gas, so yeah.
It was crazy. Me and Mia Chapman were trying to make sense of it out there. There were just cars going everywhere. But, man, just like Brian, you guys stayed true, and you got it done and got on the box.
Yep, just played it clean.
All right, that was perfect. I think that's the best way to race.
Agreed.
All right, who do you want to say thank you to?
Well, first I want to thank my dad with Valley Steel Supply, my mom, and then Oliver for spotting, and then Jimmy at Extreme Manufacturing, and then Travis from Ruthless Power Sports and Pro EFI.
All right, perfectly said. Your second place podium bet is Michael Birdseed. But this young man I've definitely become a fan of, and Brian Willett, man, congratulations. You stayed clean, you stayed true, and you were able to pick it up right here and get on top of the box.
Yep, I'd like to thank, first of all, RMG Motorsports and Braden Baker and Connor. They got my car built in 3 weeks, and it's an amazing car. Feels pretty good. Hopefully we could do more this season.
All right, well, very good. Anybody else you want to say thank you to? I'll let you guys have the podium.
Willett Motorsports, IMG Motorsports, my parents, and my girlfriend.
All right, perfectly said. I know it. I'm getting out of the way. Big round of applause. These warriors just put in quite the battle here at the amateur rings. But I think we have only 2 left here in the pro class, unless Bobby didn't get it in. Bobby got it in. So let me make sure I got it right. Bobby, TJ, and Trent. You guys are Valley Steel? Yeah. Next level. Oh, yeah. Hi. Yeah, but we have a race. They can pick up their wheels after races are over. At the registration. Okay? Well, yeah, because you're going to be up there. I'm not going to. I didn't want to get in there on that. Well, Bobby, man, I got to tell you, it was the craziest race up there to announce for Mia Chapman. There was carnage going there. There was smoke going everywhere. You guys were pulling off. You were pulling on. Everything was going crazy. But, man, you were able to get it done for at least third place on the podium.
Yeah, the new track, I'm sorry. It's a little rough on the cars. I don't think we'll keep cars running if we don't make some changes. We'll have to do that. We'll talk about it, but it's tough on the cars. I see we all broke from this jump into turn 3. It's broke almost every car we had out there because of it. So we got obviously a little rough on the cars. We're short course cars and we're on a desert track at the moment. But last car we'll take out and we'll come back and make up for it, and we'll come back and come back again. But it was a great race. I love racing with these new kids. It's great to see all these young guys coming up and race with us. And you know, got off the start. It was pretty cool. We all started. You know, we all slid into turn 1. There was so much water in turn 2 that me and my son ran all the way to the top. And Chapman came in, took advantage of it, came in. These guys all seeing it behind him. It was good to see. And then it was wet from there on. But it was a good battle with these guys. It was great.
Man, it definitely was great to announce. Mia Chapman and I had to sit and make sense of it maybe 4 or 5 times. Who's up front? And so many position changes. But it was a great job. All right, R&R Steel, big sponsor here of the series. Let's talk about the other people that make things happen for you.
Well, first of all, most God. He's our savior. He's our holy man. Without him, none of us would be here today. You know. Anyways, And then we want to thank our new core team. We have a whole new 25 team here. We want to thank core for everybody and thank for all our people for coming out here today. Thank you guys.
All right, there it is, Bobby Van Beeken. Let's keep moving here. Well, TJ, man, it looked like you were having some catastrophic failure coming down the front straightaway here. A lot of smoke coming out of that car. What do you think that was?
It could be a lot of things, but I lost my brakes right after comp caution and ran out of gas, so I was sputtering the whole time. But otherwise, it was a blast. Great battling with this guy. He's an amazing driver.
Man, you were so fast. This is a TJ that I got to get used to seeing, man. And I was announcing it as you had taken a break and raced back east. But, man, you come out here to Arizona, you are just on fire, boy.
Might be literally.
Literally. All right, let's talk about the people that make your race program happen.
I'd like to thank the Heavenly Father upstairs. He makes everything possible. Polaris Razor, R&R Steel, Rob Muzzy, Meru, Steel Savers, Valor Wheels, DXR, Arizona Solar Wave, 12S Brewery, XTC, JG Racing, and everyone else. Thank you.
There it is, TJ Severs, Ace here. Trent Olette. Now, man, like there's so many things going through my head right now. Okay, first of all, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, that's all. Okay, you were able to walk around. I relaxed because nobody likes to see a race finish like that. Number two, do you think the car is gonna be ready for tomorrow?
We're gonna do what we can. I'll tell you that. If it can be fixed, we'll do what we can to fix it.
True attitude of a champ right there. That is perfectly said. Well, congratulations on the win, no matter what. Glad you're okay. Glad the car is okay. Let's talk about the people that make your race program happen.
2X Motorsports. We had a little issue on practice day, and we ended up swapping the stock motor back into it. And then my guy Brandon over here, he worked his ass off to make sure that this thing was rocket ship for the day. 518 Designs, they killed the wrap. Eric, I really appreciate what you've done for me today, and the Greco family. There's a lot of people, my grandparents, everybody, my whole family for coming out, all my friends, you know. Shout out to my guy Carson. I saw he ran a heater there at the end. We're really showing something.
I have to agree. Well, there it is, your winner, Trent Olette. I'm glad he's all right. Let me get out the way. And by the way, I was told that I had to tell you guys those aren't the real checks. Right, no, I was just told to tell you that. So you guys got to pick them up registration after the race. Congratulations, you're winners of the pro class here today. That was pretty great. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Me and Chapman. Hey, look what I got right here. Ryder Chapman, you were all over the place. What was going on? The steering was going off. Are you losing axle? What was going on?
Yeah, so the front right side got packed full of mud, so the centrifugal force, it would start moving, it would start vibrating, so it kept knocking out my power steering. I was turning it off and on in the turn, and then driver's side rear axle went out too, so that was just, can't do anything with that.
Just had to finish for points, is that right?
Yeah, just had to finish, get it done for the points, so.
Good job, man. I'm just glad you're okay as well.
Yeah, car felt good up until that. Car was great, and then that happened. Undrivable.
Good to see you. Ryder Chapman, there it is. Mia, you got it from him. That was awesome, right? Great race there. Hey, the real checks. Go get the real checks after the race. Knew it. I somehow secretly knew it. Not really. Glenn Benton, man. He said no. He said no. Gonna be racing out here today after doing a great job with Core and everything that you do behind the scenes here, man. What does it feel like to be racing today?
Nervous.
You are nervous. In fact, this is a side of you I haven't seen, not ever.
It's been a couple of years since I've been in a race car, so and trying to do short course on top of it. It's and a new car that I've never driven before.
Well, what I've been looking forward to seeing this is that now, I mean, this is what we work hard to do to bring to these people, and now it's going to be you out there, and so now you get to experience it from start to finish.
Yeah, I get to experience it, and that's exciting for me. So I'll be in the back, and and watching everybody have fun, and I'll be having fun myself. So.
All right, Glenn Bantha. Let's try this one more time. Glenn Bantha, everybody, he's going to be out there, and we're all on the core family going to be looking for that race, and I think he's going to do just fine. Mia Chapman, what race do we have coming up next?
Looks like we have our SR1 race coming up next.
Woo-wee. Now, I got to look around, see if there's any Weller up here. I don't see any Weller crew up here. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily anything. Oh, here they come. Now, they could be out here for Scott Webster. They could be out here for Charlie Etheridge. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But they both have headsets on. I'm just trying to manifest her being out there, that's all. You know what I mean? What's the SR1 class without Corey Weller? All right. Well, here we go. Let's meet the drivers. You're a fast qualifier by almost 2 full seconds. Paul O'Brien. I don't know what to say about this guy. Definitely the Wonder Boy back in the day when we were out here for Lucas. Paul O'Brien couldn't lose if he had no problems with the car. He was definitely a Wonder Boy along with, Nelson. He was amazing. Corey Weller can do it, but man, it's great to see Paul O'Brien coming out of retirement here to race with us with a core. He'll be rocking the number 11. Chris Redden in the number 9 car. Now, Brian McCormick's out here, and that's his number, so I wonder if he's going to get the bug again. I think he's not going to be able to with all the kids that he has to support right now in 12 West. The old man, number 42, Scott Webster, always a tough competitor, and he has the skills to get it done as well. Larry Hayes, number 75, a new guy for me. Sammy Nino, I was able to get acquainted with Sammy Nino in the number 17 car, and the man with the strongest Georgian accent I ever heard in my entire life, Charles Etheridge, making the trek all the way out here to run the SR1 class out here in Arizona. So, Mia Chapman, have you ever pondered racing the SR1?
Funny story. We actually have one sitting in our garage right now.
Wow.
Very, very new addition, but yeah, I got it from one of our friends, Dan Kelly, so needs quite a bit of work for sure before it's raceable, but yeah, never thought we'd have one of those in the garage. So.
Well, first of all, you said Dan Kelly. Now let's talk a little bit about Dan Kelly. If you're out there and you don't know who Dan Kelly is, Dan Kelly, the condition of that car is actually surprising if it's complete. In other words, if it is sitting on all four and all the front A-arms are straight and, well, actually it's A-arms all the way around. So if all the A-arms are straight and the axles still rotate a hub and the engine is connected via the actual driveline that the car is intended, the rest of it doesn't even matter. So if those things are intact, because Dan Kelly, in my opinion, is Checkers or his name for his race team should be Checkers or Wreckers. Like, he has driven anything, and I'm not putting the man down by any means, and being derogatory at all. But man, he was so spectacular to watch, and he's probably not done racing. He's probably just done racing the SR1. I mean, so you have that car. Tell me more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my brother might do a couple races in it. We'll see, but yeah, I don't know. I've never even driven one before, so I'd be.
Oh, they're fun.
Yeah, I got to get out in one, put some laps down.
Oh, they're fun. It is the hardest thing for him, and I've told Jason this a million times, and I'll say it again, and hopefully Jason and Corey or the Wellers here will tell you, but you make those cars all-wheel drive, you probably will have the fastest short course vehicle in the history of short course. I believe that a four-wheel drive SR1 could beat a Pro 4. I truly believe that. So, I mean, I truly do, and I think they're incredible. I think the key to racing an SR1 is the person that can put the power to the ground without the rear wheel coming around, because the car under acceleration will just spin out. Just like you're on the straightaway, give it gas, it will just spin out just from full torque. The engine has that much torque and low end that'll spin the car around. So unlike a lot of the belt-driven cars out here, these cars have direct transmissions. They're chained right to the rear axle, to the rear carrier, and these cars are all about braking and throttle, how you apply the throttle. You have to have total throttle control.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I used to race modified karts, and they were shifter karts, so kind of similar in a way that they drive compared to SR1s, so a little bit of similarity there, but yeah, I've never been in one, so I think we're going to fix it up a little bit and maybe go throw some races down, but definitely get some seat time first.
I got to tell you, man, realizing and having actually just sitting there, the realization listening to you talk is, you're not just the child prodigy that you were racing back in the day. You've actually got tons of seat time. You are a bona fide actual racer, like to the bone. And I would love to see you race an SR1. I'm not kidding. I think your focus, I think your style and everything has come full circle right now in racing, and I'll bet you it would apply to a very fast lap time in an SR1. I'm just speaking out loud.
Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah?
Definitely would take some time though.
Well,
But yeah, just definitely like a for fun thing, to see how we like it.
I'd love to see you do it. I bet you'd be really fast in it. Well, anyhow, if you haven't met him yet, there it is. Paul O'Brien, Chris Redden, Scott Webster, Larry Hayes, Sammy Nino, and Charles Etheridge, all the way from Georgia. I can't even do the accent. His accent is so thick, but it's genuine, and that's crazy. Okay. Well, no matter what and who is in this race, it's going to be a barn burner for sure. So stick around. I don't even see him in staging, so it'd be safe to say that we're taking a little bit of a break. We had the camera there for a second. I should have done this. But hey, I do want to tell you about something we have going on here. Iron City, Arizona Polaris dealer is out here, and they have this car, the 2025 Polaris Pro R4 Ultimate. It is for raffle, and it is $100 a ticket, and the proceeds go to the vets. And I think that's a very noble cause. The American Legion Off-Road Riders Post 54 in Arizona, the third annual poker run. This is Saturday, March 8th here in 2025. The registration is between 8 and 9 a.m. Must be back at 4 p.m. to turn in cards. So this is a poker run. You get your cards, $20 per participant. All vehicles of off-road vehicles are welcome to participate, so that's a really good deal. If you got a motorcycle, you got a quad, you got another side-by-side or anything you want, get out there. Even a Jeep. I see a Jeep on here. So if you guys got a Jeep or any of the four-wheeled vehicles, get out there. All proceeds go to the Legion Off-Road Riders in Post 54, and they have a QR code here. I don't know if you can get me back to the camera, but I'll let you guys see it. I don't think you guys are going to be able to scan the QR code like right off the bat, but no. But I mean, you'd have to freeze it because I'm not going to hold it there. See, this is something we could have scanned and had on them for an overlay as well. But this is a big deal. The car is actually here right now, the 2025 Polaris, and this thing is awesome. I got to admit, it has. Have you seen Fox's live shocks right now? You can actually adjust the shocks via Bluetooth connection to the shocks. And you can change everything. You can change compression, you can change rebound while you're driving. And that is a big deal, man. That if you're an avid off-roader and you're out at the dunes, you can change it, you can soften it up for the dunes. But if you need a more aggressive rebound because you're out in the desert and softer compression, that ability to be able to change your shock on the fly like that is huge. So the Pro R definitely has its advantages. So here we go. Casey Kane, he's calling it out. He says, let's bring him out. So Mia Chapman, I always ask you for your predictions, but I'm going to give you mine, and then maybe you can go with it or tell me what you. My prediction is Paul O'Brien, if he has no problems with his car, is gonna lead this race from wire to wire. And I say he has no problems with his car. He says he hasn't been racing for about a year and a half, and that is going to play into it. I guess he brought it out a couple times. He said he pulled the car out, and the clutches had to be replaced in the car. Kind of surprising, but kind of not, because they're kind of finicky. They're high performance, and you could have melted the clutch down on the last time you drove it or whatever. But Scott Webster, Chris Redden, and they all have what it takes. So Paul O'Brien out to the front early leads him into Class 1. And all the cars taking it pretty easy through Class 1. As you heard some of the drivers saying, it was pretty wet there. And it's great to see the numbers of 6 strong out here as the number 75 car of Larry Hayes doing the wall ride over there down the back straightaway. Paul O'Brien staying safe out front. And I have a feeling, as I was just getting ready to say, Paul O'Brien is going to lay it down and could possibly lead this from wire to wire. So Paul O'Brien on the first lap out front early, right ahead of the number 9 car of Chris Redden. And they're pretty much lined up the exact way that they qualified. Scott Webster, the old man, rounding off your top 3. But Larry Hayes right there in the 75 car after a little bit of a wild ride down the back straightaway. And Mia Chapman, I gotta say, it is very weird to announce the SR1s without saying Corey Weller out front. I just needed to get that off my chest. I know she's not here.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels different.
I know she's not here. I knew that was just a practice run there. So if you guys heard that out there from the Weller crew, I'm just telling you, that was just a little thing to say there. Now I'm good. It's like, I'm good. So Paul O'Brien now out front, the number 11 car. And he is very smooth, and what a great shot out there. And Scott Webster definitely knows how to drive these cars, and it's pretty much lined up exactly the way it is on our sheet right here. These cars are sounding good, they're looking good, and man, it's pretty much a train out there right now, just one car after another. So let's see if anything transpires here. Can Scott Webster get up next to Chris Redden? And can the old man get that second spot from Chris Redden? That 75 car of Larry Hayes, I was saying it during practice, or during qualifying rather, that car's just got a little different note to it. Did you hear it as it came? I'm not just saying it's louder, it is louder, but it's got a little different note to it. That's it. I mean, it is louder, but it's just different. Makes me wonder if he has a different engine. Like the majority of the engine out there is the Yamaha R1, but Brian McCormick was allowed to run the Honda engine, so it's making me wonder, does Larry Hayes have a different engine in there? There's that classic SR1 sound right there. So Scott Webster, as I predicted, on the rear bumper right now of Chris Redden. And that's going to be Larry Hayes now. There it is, Scott Webster trying to pull up side of Chris Redden. And we're getting the race. The old man just jumping down the back straightaway into that second place. Wow, Scott Webster gonna come up now and gonna have to do battle with Paul O'Brien. And again, once again, it's almost like I manifested. I said, man, I think Scott Webster is gonna challenge Chris Redden, and he did. A great pass out there. Scott Webster hanging it out. But Chris just looking right at his door as he was hanging it out in turn 5. These boys look like they're having fun. Scott Webster a little wide right there. I think handed it back. Indeed, handed it back to Chris Redden. That was a big mistake and very uncharacteristic of Scott Webster. Whoa! Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Full course caution, I guarantee it is coming out, everybody. Wow. Wow. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to call it like this, but that is probably the worst wreck I have ever seen in off-road racing. Ever. I'm saying ever. And Mia Chapman was just saying, man, don't say anything, but guys, this was crazy. I don't know what happened there. All right. Okay, but hold on. Okay, there's the driver. The driver's out, everybody. You better make some noise. The driver, he's slow, but that's telling me we're okay. And if he gets down out there with his own power, that is amazing. If he gets down and walks around, that is crazy. All right, he's on his feet. Let's see if he stands up prone. Well, you know what? He's probably very badly bruised up, but man, he is okay. Once again, everybody, big round of applause. He is out of the car. Wow. Well, Mia Chapman, the emotions right now, that was... That is... Did you see it, Casey? Did you watch it? I just saw the aftermath. Yeah, he's standing prone. No broken femur or ankle. All right. And I do believe that is Sammy Nino. Oh, wow. Mia Chapman, my only question for you is, without really talking about, have you ever seen anything like that in off-roading? Off-road short course racing of that magnitude? You have? Man, that is gnarly. I mean, I've probably seen it on, on the YouTube and everything, but man, that is the gnarliest thing I've ever seen here at Firebird. Look at the track. All right, so give us a second, everybody, and we'll find out. And the only two racers that could be is Sammy Nino or Charles Etheridge, and I'll let you know as I see the rest of the field here. It is Sammy? Okay, that's what I figured. Well, Sammy Nino, wow. Sammy Nino, yeah. Yep, thank you, I got it. Well, definitely need to be checked out on that one, but he walked to the ambulance by himself, so as far as I'm concerned, that is okay. But yes, indeed, if you're out there and you've wanted to get into off-road racing and you hear about the safety, the very stringent safety values that we have here at Core and any off-road racing, which include the seat belts, the window nets, and the way the car is constructed. And I don't know if it was, I wasn't watching it on the screen, so I don't know what you guys were able to see out in on the live feed. But the car probably cartwheeled a total of, and I'm just trying to describe the wreck to you. I do believe it lawn darted off the finish line jump here, hit the front bumper, and from there sent into a very violent, I would probably say flipped at least 6 times. So if you missed it on the live track feed, it was pretty serious. The car actually is over on all fours, and oddly the cage is relatively straight. So just going to show you to finish what I was saying, how important all the safety precautions that we give and we tell you guys to do with the cage, the seats, the seat belts, fuel cell. It's wrecks just like this is why it's so strictly enforced. So, all right. That's a gnarly That's a gnarly thing to see here. Pretty much smooth sailing here for the day, but now that's a little bit of a change up right there. Nobody wants to see the driver like that. But hopefully we'll keep you updated on that, and I get a little more info on Sammy Nino. So, but all I have to say is, wow, that is wow. All right. Well, as we return back to racing, out front is the number 11, Apollo O'Brien. Chris Redden, the number 9 car, in second place. Scott Webster challenging for second place there. And we'll see how if Scott has any more to get that second place back. Larry Hayes, that's okay. That's right. You guys can applaud. He is okay. That's a big deal. And you can obviously see all the red shirts down there. Very concerned. And as I said, after that violent of a crash, the car actually looks like it did its job. All right. Whew. So as the announcer, I'm not down there in the car with him, but the intensity, there you go, the car there, relatively straight, as you guys can see, with the exception of the rear bumper there. Great shot from up here. But the cage work as they bring it down, as Jason Ramsey brings it right in front of us, the main cage actually looking pretty straight. Most of the suspension intact. Casey Kane down there. And it would appear that car did its job. Wow. Oh, right on. Lance Root out there. Lance just texted me. And you can see, if you guys want to go back to the camera here, you can see Lance Root watching us on TV right there, or on his computer screen. And then let's see who else. Jamie Regina, same thing. Got one from Jamie Regina. Jamie, I was just talking about you today because I was showing off your car, your 10 car. Thank you, thank you. So if you guys are watching, it's good to see you guys text it in. So anyhow, there you go. Both Lance Root and Jamie Regina sent us a picture of us on TV. So, what the heck? All right. So Mia Chapman, that's a hard recovery even for us up here in Race Command to have to get into it, back into the racing and making it all happy and fun. We were talking about that earlier about a career I used to have. Kind of the same thing that just happened. We have to refresh our records to get back into it and just pray. Sammy Nino, though, looking like he was okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was a speechless one. It was awful to watch. You never want to see a wreck like that, you know. So, yeah, very glad to see him walk away from that, because that could have been much, much worse. So.
I mean, when he climbed out of the car there, I was already had hope, and the fact that he jumped down from the car, that just tells me no broken ankles, broken bones, or But he was kind of gimping, or limping around there. But
absolutely.
But the fact that nothing major was done and he was able to take his helmet off and everything, I can deal with the bruises and scrapes. You know what I mean? As long as nothing major was done. So, hats off to the safety factor, the way that the SR1s are designed. Hats off to the safety crew getting right up there as quickly as they could. But now, here we go. We got a job to do. I have to tell you, I'm very emotional about that. But here we go. The green flag flies for the rest of the SR1 field. And it's going to be Paul O'Brien back into turn 1. He's led it from wire to wire. But the real battle is between Scott Webster and Chris Redden. Chris Redden in that number 9 car. And you can see Scott Webster, the 42, the orange frame. And Scott Webster to the inside of turn 2. Did he get it back? He did indeed as they come over the ski jump. That's Chris Redden, though, not handing it to Scott Webster as easy. And Chris Redden to the inside. Scott Webster, though, same thing. They're side by side going into turn 5. Chris Redden to the inside, a little bump. Not upsetting the car at all. Scott Webster, the real battle right there. Chris Redden and Scott Webster.
That's always the type of racing you want to watch. Close racing, but still keeping it clean, and it looks like they're just having fun out there.
Well, that indeed is 100% the action in short course racing that very rarely happens out in the desert unless you catch your competitor and then they don't want to give up that position for whatever reason. If you already caught them, you're already in the lead. So as you know, corrected time is a little bit different in the desert. But when you're out here, the short course racing, it's live action right now. And there is going to be some rubbing, and it was short course racing where the phrase came from, Rubbin's Racing. Paul O'Brien right now, though, just enjoying the clean air out front, running his own race, hitting every mark, and his bestie in this SR1 field of 5 now cars. And it would seem that Paul O'Brien's got the setup in that car just right. So me and Chapman, a little better track, not a lot of dust out here today. The moisture staying in the track. What do you choose for a tire in this environment? What do you choose for a tire? A hard pack tire, a mud tire? What do you choose here?
Probably a Hoosier tire of some sort. I don't know. It depends what it kind of is. It looks totally different from up here than it is down there. So I think, you just got to see what it looks like. This track always tends to dry out just a little bit and get blue groove. So, definitely a grippy tire of some sort.
That's a good deal right there. And you're absolutely right. From the vantage point of the bleachers here, you can't really see it. But if you can see it on a screen, you can actually see the blue groove. And the blue groove is in every single corner. That's actually literally blue right there for the tires that are laying down the rubber and actually leaving it on the hard packed dirt. So that is a very important thing, and that's exactly why I needed to ask that. If you're out here watching it, the tire selection is very important. Well, at least 2 more laps to go for Paul O'Brien. And what a welcome back to SR1 Racing here with a win from Paul O'Brien. Sounded like Larry Hayes there with a panic rev. The Georgian. I think Charlie Etheridge is getting faster every race he comes out to, so it's good to see him doing really well. Paul O'Brien. Oh, I do believe Paul O'Brien is a vet. He knows this class very well, but I also believe there is something, like we talk about, like the talent. Like if you look at Supercross riders, the Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, Ricky Johnson, Jeff Ward. You know, they were just something just a little bit different, a little bit special. And you know what? I believe that about Paul O'Brien as well. Paul O'Brien, one of the smoothest SR1 car drivers I've ever seen. As you see right here, just the car's set up right. It's turning right. It's jumping right. They were talking about it. He's hit every mark so far. And I just think Paul O'Brien is just a little bit different. If you notice, I'm not saying better or the best or the fastest. I'm saying just a little different. He does things just, and you can always count on him being top 3 at any SR1 class, any SR1 race.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely not lacking in talent there. So this class is definitely one of my favorites out here to watch. It's so much fun. I'm so glad they brought them back. So yeah, definitely some quick guys in here, and these are some hard cars to drive from what I've heard about them. So yeah, props to them.
I remember watching these cars with the Nationals when we had the trucks, and they would do the SR1s, and I mean we're talking 20 SR1 cars, and I remember that they were only on this course, I don't know, 2 seconds slower than the Pro 4s. So like they were spectacular to watch in a field of 20 cars. So still spectacular here today. White flag flies for our leader, Paul O'Brien. And now Chris Redden trying to put in some work to get to the back of Paul O'Brien. And Chris Redden, that gap is diminishing. It would appear that Paul's going to have his hands full if he doesn't pick up the pace a little bit. I know he can hear that engine of the number 9 car of Chris Redden. And now they are literally with 2 cars linked. Great shot right there coming down into turn 5. And they are going to have to run a perfect set right here. Paul O'Brien staying tight. And now under the tarmac, Mia Chapman, one more straightaway. Can they do it? It's going to be a drag race. You can hear the cars getting on it right there down the front straightaway. Paul O'Brien and Chris Redden, what a great job there. I had the old man around off the top 3. The number 42 is Scott Webster. You know, and I don't know why I call him the old man. He's not much older than me. But it's just kind of a nickname that's... Yeah, I see. Thanks. Mia Chapman just reminded me I'm old too. She didn't even hesitate. She quickly fired with, I don't know why I call him the old man. She goes, what? Yes. Yes, I'm definitely old. Thank you, Mia Chapman. Yeah, I'm not 22 anymore, Mia Chapman. Thanks. I do. I don't even know if I act that old. Well, what a great race here, the SR1. Hearts go out to Sammy Nino. I'm glad he's all right. He was able to get out of the car on his own power. He didn't appear to have any broken bones, but I said it doesn't appear. But the fact that he was able to walk to the ambulance, that's saying a lot. So on behalf of the entire crew, want to say thanks to Jones Jeep Ford Ram out of Wickerbird. You can see Shane right there supplying our Power Wagon Pace vehicle. And Shane giving the horns to the drone. But love having Jones Ford Ram Jeep out here. Great sponsor that came on for 2024 and apparently has carried on into 2025. So lucky to have you guys out here. All right, let's talk with the winners in a moment. Well, all right, what a race that was, man. The SR1s are back. Scott Webster, Chris Redden, get on up here. And Paul O'Brien, your winner. Somebody just dropped $20 right here. All right. All right. So. Yeah. Come on up here, guys.
I can still buy it. Barely, though, right?
What's up, brother? I didn't get a hug from you all weekend. Well, Scott Webster, man, what a great race. Yep, you two get on up there. It's great to see the SR1 class back here and back here at Core. You guys got a home here. Some of the old G's coming back. We got Paul O'Brien here, but man, you were on fire. You were the only one that had any kind of lane change when you were battling Chris.
What a battle that was. I left the door open there when I got around him and then just pushed really hard out in the asphalt. He took advantage of it, and then I couldn't catch him. It looked like a great battle up there in front, but very happy. Very happy that I beat Corey Weller.
I had to say Corey Weller just one time. I said, Corey Weller out front. I go, oh, she's not here? I mean, I know she's here, but I was like, I just had to get that out of the way. So I was with you as an announcer.
Thank everybody that came out. Derek did a hell of a job spotting. All my friends and family that come out. Network Automotive. Thank you, everybody. It was awesome.
All right, there it is.
Congratulations to these guys. They raced.
Well, it looked like your car had the speed when you guys were drag racing it, but man, Chris really had to drive to keep you behind him.
Yeah, so many times I wanted to peek it in there coming into 2 because I felt like I was gaining on him in turn 1, pulling, and then I would have smashed him pretty good. So
I mean, it was pretty close. Yeah. I mean, wait till you see it on the replay, man. It was great to at least announce.
Fun to race with these guys. What a blast.
Perfect. My man, Scott Webster, you proud of this young guy?
Yes.
You know I call him the old man, right? She said, I got nothing to say on that one. She goes, you better stop that. Mia Chapman said, well, you're old too then. Yes, I am. Thanks, Mia. Well, Chris Redden, man, what a great race that was. You guys definitely put the only battle in on that because pretty much you guys finished the same way it was on the sheet. But you and Scott, you guys were battling it out.
Yeah, we had some fun at the beginning, got around me, and I was like, oh, it's over, because it's so hard to pass these things unless you get rough. And luckily, I barely snuck it in on the asphalt, and then it's like that. You just can't get around and without kind of banging him up. So just tried to focus in on Paul and start following his line and started getting on him. And then he was driving aggressive and slowed down a little bit to block me. So I don't know. It's fun. I love these cars. I love this class. I mean, thanks, Weller, for putting up some money for it. And this is awesome. Too bad Corey's not here because it's the first time I'm going to beat her.
Corey who? I just had to tease her because I know she's out there watching. Like, is she watching me? Is she watching me? Well, right on. It was a great race to announce, man, and that was a great battle with you and Scott.
Yeah, it was awesome. Hopefully, Sam, if you can hear us, I hope you're okay, man. I heard it was gnarly. Your car looks horrible, so I hope you are all right, buddy.
Well, he got out on his own, on his own, so he's fine. All right, let's talk about the people that make the race program happen.
Me, my wife, my kids, my buddy Sam, the Wellers. I mean, this whole class is so just tight bonded. We all pit in the exact same spot, so that's what's cool about this class. It's fun and it's everybody involved, and you guys especially giving us a place to race. So we're super thankful for that, and can't wait till the next round.
All right, very good. You guys make some noise out there. Chris Redden doing a great job. And man that hasn't been in the car for what you say, a year and a half. We know you got the speed. You said the clutch was fine, or you had to put a clutch in the car. You come out here and you lead this race from wire to wire. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good race. I felt pretty good yesterday. It was, until my clutch went. That car, though, I got enough time in it now. It's not hard to get back in it. The car's, once you get it dialed, it's pretty much low maintenance, so it's good to come back out.
That's exactly what I said. If I know Paul O'Brien, car's got a great setup. He just needs a little bit of time in the car, and it's just business as usual. It's exactly the way I called it. And to hear you say that's just a little vindication of what I said. Well, man, all I got to say is welcome back. You're on top.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Kind of funny, I literally drained the tank, dusted off, exact same settings the last time I was in that car.
No way.
Yeah, so everything's still much the same. So I got to thank my wife. We decided to just get back into racing just a little bit ago, and we're glad we came out. Core, glad that there's a place here in Arizona to race. It's been it's been a concern for a while. You know, I got the SR1, and it's purpose-built, pretty much only for the race. So thank the Wellers. They keep on supporting this. Thanks for the money. That's going to help get going.
Woo! That's a real thing to say. Woo! Thanks for the money. Woo! That's a little thing. You know that.
Yeah, and you know, thanks for these guys racing. You know, Chris, I mean, he was right there. I did go into defense because the track was so slick there at the end. I was like, I'm not going to mess this one up. And
I wanted you to say that because when he just said that, I was going, no, dude, he didn't check up and wait for you. He was running, but that's good to hear you say that.
yeah, it wasn't waiting. It literally was just being defensive and careful because it was getting slick, and he was coming and he was charging. So it'll be good racing tomorrow.
All right, very good. Anybody else want to say thank you to?
No, just the wife. Thanks to Core and the Wellers.
All right, let me get out of this way. Paul Bryant, welcome back. And I'm going to come over here, Corey Weller. Because it's just weird being at a race, especially with SR1s. I'm not saying like you heard me say Corey Weller, but so what do you think about Paul O'Brien? Do you think you had anything for him if you were out here?
You know, Paul's always a tough guy to beat. I don't know. I don't know how this one would have. He looked so fast, and Chris has been like right there also, and Scott is always fast. So no, I was really looking forward to just watching today. I'm learning some things. I'm learning my competition today.
Yeah, it's a different view out here watching, especially a class that you are very dominant in, but it's very different watching from the sidelines and seeing what we kind of see when you're out there.
Yeah, I like it. It all looks so easy. These things are just like doo-doo-doo. They look like they're just so easy to drive, and you have no idea what we're going through inside to make it look like that. So, yeah.
No, I agree. And I said Paul is just so smooth right now. Just everything. He's hitting all his marks. I did see one mistake, but it was over a kicker. It wasn't, and I don't even think it was really a mistake. The car just kind of set up that way. But, yeah, a little bit of camaraderie there with you and Paul. But, man, what do we got you for the rest of the year? You coming out here racing with us, and why did you race today?
So we had a lot of stuff going on at the shop this week. Had some deadlines we had to get to. No time to prep. Not that they really need it, but just a lot of stress. Jason had to go test yesterday. So we're like, hey, you know, I actually begged him. I'm like, please, let's just take the weekend off because we got a lot coming up. So he's like, all right. And so, yeah, we did. We'll be back. We have a couple desert races that coincide that we're going to have to miss for the beginning of the year, but I think for 2026, it looks pretty good. I think we'll be here for all of that.
All right, perfect. And I'll see you at Parker. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Corey Weller, everybody. Oh, and I didn't get no loving out of this girl right here. Okay, go. Yeah.
I'm
hey,
off to the bank.
They're not going to cash that one. I'm ordered to tell everybody that has those checks that the actual check's at the registration afterwards. All right. Me and Chapman, we got more racing. Well, me and Chapman, they're going to go out there for 2 laps. They just laid down a lot of water. This is the backbone. Right. Casey Kane just confirming what I said there. But this is the backbone of Core Off-Road Racing. This is the youth NA Limited class. 12 cars strong on this one. But it's races like this. These are the fast cars. These are the cars that, you know, they're 1,000 cc's. These are cars that are built ready to race. This is a youth limited, but man, comparable speeds to the pros.
Definitely, yeah. Quite a big field in this one, too. Never lacks the action. And, yeah, a lot of talent in here. So it'll be one to watch for sure.
Well, a few names that we've seen all weekend. And one of them had to get carried off. Declan Shields out there in row 2. And I can see the car out there, so Declan has made it back in. So hopefully we'll be able to talk with Declan. But let's meet the drivers in P1 on row 1. the 866 Jackson Leeming. Well, your number one qualifier for this event. And right next to him, Jackson Howdegi. And we got it down straight there. Declan Shields, hopefully okay and able to compete. Stephanie Warapius in the number 623 car. Cameron Leeming, brother to Jackson Leeming there in the 1866 car. The 999 of Kyle Niner will round off row 3.
In row 4, we have the 195 of Tatum Forrester. Right next to him, the number 2 of Cash Hart. Row number 5, the 531 of Evan Atkins. Right next to him, the 62 of Rylan Gahan.
Gahan?
Gahan?
I'd say Gahan.
All right, new name.
Gahan.
Row number 6, rounding out the field, the 150 of Caleb Montez and the 381 of Brenna Gork.
Gork, yeah, or Gorky. Gork or Gorky. Both Ryland, if you guys want to let me know how to say that word, that'd be great. Gahan or Brenna Gork or Gorky. So, TJ Seaver's sitting right there. Good to see you up. Just so crazy. TJ, another young man that I used to announce with, he used to race here with you. He's just grown into be. How old are you now, TJ? 15 years old. And man, you're just growing up. It's great to see the kids here all grown up that used to race here. But we're going to go one more time around. The reason why we're doing it for this lap is the fresh water that was just poured down. So let them gum it up. And, you know, you can see the mud already accumulating on these cars. But I think that's a great idea. Let these cars go around one more time. And I think I would take this time right now to see how slippery turn 1 is. And it looks like they're really choosing different lines right now to get that water and moisture out of turn 1 right there. So Mia Chapman, I got to tell you, this is a very stacked field here. Cash Hart's been on top. Tatum Forrester been up there. Always a contender. Man, any one of these racers, the Leeming brothers, they are rock solid. You can see they're top 5. This is quite a race, and I've always asked for a prediction here, but this is definitely a class. I don't know that there could be a prediction made here because at least with all the top 6 riders of 12 here, it could be any one of them. So no matter what, this is going to be one of those races of the weekend that are action-packed. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of position changes in this race.
Yeah, I think I would definitely have to agree with that.
Well, if you're out there and you're watching us, you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook or even TikTok, you can watch all of this live. In fact, I should turn back on my channel here to YouTube and see if there's any questions. So if you are out there, let's close this. We'll get this live chat back open. So there you go. I've got my YouTube back open. Let's hope it resets here. Maybe I should back out. Saturday Bains, here we go. Check. Let's see, I'll back out here. Round 1, the big cars, here we go. All right. So now we're back in it. If you're out there and you have a question, go ahead and tune into the YouTube of Core Racing. And if I see any questions come up here, let's see if I can pull it open again. Any of the live, 36 people watching right now. Well, here we go. We're going green. So Allison Furno, she says, Ella, you're doing so good. Keep it up and continue to show them who's boss, says Allison Furnell. And then Allison continues on, hope the guys that rolled are okay. Greco and Warner, y'all still doing amazing. All right. And that must have been from a race a little earlier. But if you guys have questions, go ahead and put it on the YouTube. But right now, let's take a look. It looks like Jackson Leeming still out front. And Declan Shields in second, coming into turn 5. And Jackson now on the second lap, starting to extend his lead. But it looks like the real battle coming down the front straightaway here. Is pretty much for third. Now Cameron Leeming coming up through the pack. Cameron Leeming now all the way up to 4th place. Cameron, though, has his hands full with Stephanie Morapius. And Declan Shields now putting the wheel in on Jackson Leeming. That isn't Jackson Leeming. That is Stephanie Morapius. I thought, I was looking, I had to look over at the overlay to see that that is Stephanie Morapius. Another error on my part. I'm just full of them today. But I think I had a good recovery. Stephanie Morapius now out front. And Declan Shields. So Stephanie able to work their way through Declan Shields, Jackson Howdigi, and Jackson Leeming. Now Jackson Leeming back. And now the XTC Motorsports are racing with each other. And the 866 now, Jackson Leeming getting back out to 3rd place. So there it is, 1, 2, 3. So Mia Chapman, you're in 3rd place and you're chasing down, you're in the lead like these 3. What's the strategy there at 3rd place? You want to get into 2nd and challenge for the lead. You have to be careful here because one mistake can take you out. What's going through your mind, or how do you attack the class from 3rd place?
Definitely, yeah. I think look for your window and when you can get around them, or you put a nose in there. But yeah, patience is key, I think, to wait until the window opens or something happens, because definitely don't want to be far out of that mix.
I think another thing to do there is to watch the line that they're taking. And if you can't get around them on the lap that you intend on it, you can see the line that they're taking, and maybe you practiced another line during your qualifying round or practice on Friday, and you know your line can get the pass made. And that's exactly what we got going on. Now look at this. Jackson Leeming, while we were talking, is all the way up to 1st. And now Stephanie Morapius now in 2nd place, and Declan Shields. We got a 3-way battle for the lead going on right now. And Stephanie Morapius a little far back into that turn, into turn 2. And the 866 of Jackson Leeming back out front. So once again, there's 42 people out there watching this on YouTube. If you have any questions, type it into the live chat right there, and I'll be happy to answer them to the best ability that I can. But right now, Jackson Leeming from XTC Motorsports out front of this youth NA limited class. And Declan Shields, after having to be taken out of the NT, looking solid here in 3rd place. Tried my best to Loud. Got it. And I love seeing the track right now. You can see all the water that was laid down. And it's great to see that the water is retaining and staying and keeping the dust down for the rest of the drivers. Jackson Lehman extending his lead with about a 13-car lead right now. But Stephanie Warapius gonna have to do some work on the second half here. This is a race where the competition yellow will be coming out. And I do believe it's going to be coming out this time around. So there it is, the competition yellow coming out. And the 999 car will round off the top. Top four, Kyle Niner. So I think the overlay is right. Jackson Lehman out front, Stephanie Warapius in second, Declan Shields third, and Kyle Niner in fourth, and rounding off your top five. It's Jackson Howdigi. So Mia Chapman, a lot of position changes there. Jackson Lehman, midway through that first half, started going backwards, but then was able to get the car back together and get back out in front.
Yeah, definitely the battle between the top three is so fun to watch out there. I mean, they're keeping it pretty clean, but they're out there banging doors and, trying to get that next position. So, yeah, I think after this mandatory, it'll be interesting how things kind of shake up.
Well, I mean, we can see the other leaving, checking out there, Cameron, having to go back in the pit. I wonder what's shaping up there. But still the top four cars, and let's see, the 149 out there as well still. The Howdigi car. And the number 2 of Cash Hart. Still anybody's race. Not much drama out here, just some really good racing amongst the top four. So let's take some time here to thank some of our sponsors. HMD Racing out here. We're proud to have them out here. They got a car out here. They've got a booth out here. If you want to know more about HMD, they're here in Tempe, Arizona. And you can check them out. They do graphics. They do wraps. They do banners. They do just about everything. There are lovely stickers out here. Everything that we have here, all HMD. So, man, we can't say thank you enough to HMD for making us look so good and professional out here at Core. And the best we can do is everybody, you guys, your wraps, your graphics, your banners, anything that you need, make sure you make it HMD. And they have definitely made us look outstanding out here. So I can't say enough about HMD, man. And the truck they got down there with that wrap, it's clean, it's classic, it looks really good. If you could wrap any way you want, what would be your first design? Would it be Red Bull, your sponsor? No? Well, here we go, back to racing. Can Stephanie Warapius get the job done, or is she going to have to play second to Jackson Levy from XTC Motorsports? Declan Shields for somebody. Oh, and they touch the 999 of Kyle Niner. Little bit of rubbing with Declan Shields going into turn 2 on this restart. That looks like Cameron Lehman was able to make it back out on the course. But it looks like the number 195 car of Tatum Forrester, it would seem like something is holding that car back from getting top speed. So I'm assuming Tatum is out there just for the points. So now Kyle Nider pulling up beside Declan Shields for that third place. Kyle Nider to the inside of turn 2. Does he have enough to get around Declan Shields? And they bump once again. Man, and when you feel a bump like that inside that car, it's way more aggressive than what you just saw there. How do you feel in the car when you take a bump like that?
Man, yeah, I mean, you can obviously feel it, you know what I mean? But it's kind of a strategy there because you do it to someone and it kind of, messes with their head a little bit, gets in their head, and then they end up making the mistake, so.
Well, I mean, as long as there's no damage to either car and you guys just kind of bump like that, it's about that forward momentum. It's like you said, it's a bump to let you know that they're there. And that definitely was what just happened there. And now Declan Shields inheriting second place over Stephanie Morapius. And there it is again. Kyle Nider car now dealing with Stephanie Morapius in third place. Kyle Nider trying to get that last spot on the podium. Great driving there by Stephanie Morapius in turn 4. Stephanie putting that inside wheel in right to the cushion. But still not able to make the pass on Declan Shields there on the tarmac. White flag flies for our leader, Jackson Leeming. And Mia Chapman, what a race we've had so far. Stephanie Morapius now trying to get that second position back from Declan Shields out of turn 2. He's got the speed over the ski jump. Stephanie on the back of Declan, and now look at this. Kyle Nider taking advantage of that bump. That's a bump and go right there. And Kyle Nider just pulled it off perfect.
Sometimes you just have to be there.
I mean, those two of Stephanie Morapius and Declan Shields, they were slowing down from the bump. And Kyle Nider, he bumped once and just went to the inside. And I think that the bump took all the momentum out. He was able to carry the speed into turn 3. Great pass for Kyle Nider. Checkered flag. And wow, Stephanie Morapius. Where is Stephanie? Oh. Stephanie must have had problems on the tarmac. I hope Stephanie's all right. But wow, Kyle Nider, what a pass that was. And we're going to talk with him and see how he knew to take that pass. That is a classic bump and run right there. And what that means is he carried the momentum, didn't lift, stayed in it, but lifted just enough for the car momentum to slow down. The other two slowed way down. He got back in at first. That is a bump and run. That is a perfect execution of a bump and run. We're going to talk with these drivers. And there's Stephanie right there. She must have had something happen because that wheel is taken out. And you know what? She said, I have to finish. I need these points. That's a hard luck for Stephanie doing such a great job there, but then having to finish the race like that. You know, if I can get, I was going to say, if she pulls in, I hope I can go talk to her. But Stephanie, great race out there. We're going to go talk with these winners right after this. Stick around. You got it. Well, what a great race that was. Lots of action. You're out there, crowd. Make some noise for these Warriors doing a great job. Nobody. Well, all right, Kyle Niner, get on up here. Declan Shields, let's go. Come on, Kyle Niner, Declan, let's go. We're holding up progress. Well, Kyle Niner, while we're waiting for Declan Shields. Man, you just performed the single best bump and run I've ever seen. You got right up there into turn 3. They got collected in there, and you hit the bump and right to the inside, and you were able to take over third place.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've been working my butt off to be able to get up here, and I'm so happy that it's been able to finally I've been able to make it happen. I don't even know what to say.
Sounds like they're happy too.
Yeah, it sure does. I'm proud to make everybody else happy.
Is this your first podium?
This is. I totaled my car here the same time last year, so I'm glad I can make it back to podium within a year. So it's very exciting.
Well, it should be. I mean, your first podium is something pretty special, and I know you sit here and watch it. You're like, I want to get there one of these days. Man, you actually drove on fire. You were right there. You played it safe, and like I said, pulled off a perfect bump and run, and you were able to secure third place because that was quite a battle between Stephanie and Declan right there.
It sure was. I don't even know what to say. I'm so grateful right now. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the podium. How about that?
I'd like to stay here. This is nice.
All right. Well, this is the point where you get to say thank you to all the people that make your race program happen.
All right. I'd definitely like to thank my mom and my dad for supporting me throughout this entire thing. Hurley Motorsports, JG Racing, Sandcraft, and anybody else who's helped me along the way. Thank you so much.
His first podium makes some noise. Well, Declan Shields, what a weekend of racing for you. Your first race out there, you ended up over on your lid, and you had to be carried out by the ambulance. So first thing, I'm glad you're okay. But man, what a race! You were really wanting this race, something serious. You were out to get the win.
Yeah, this last year we were just getting used to the car. This year, coming for it all.
Man, you definitely show it, and lots of bumping. It seemed like you had a target on there. You looked like you were hit maybe 3 or 4 times out there.
Yeah, I could feel it, and I knew I just had to some turns stay inside and protect it, and some turns kind of go low outside, so it was fast, but it worked. So.
All right, very good. Well, it was exciting to watch and exciting to announce. All right, let's hear the people that make it happen for you.
My mom, my dad, my sister, Dylan's brother,
Cub, Liam and his family, Carter, Sparko, GSP, Core, God, Jesus, my grandma, my grandpa, and everyone else who helps me.
All right, Declan Shields, everybody, a great race out there. He earned his second place, but Jackson Levy, man, great job out there. You got it done, and it wasn't easy for you. You were back and forth up there, but once you got out front in the second half, you just checked out.
Yeah, after that, I just knew I had to be smart.
Now, you started extending your lead out there, and so the smartness definitely was paying off, and it definitely showed that is a true veteran and a true champion.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's talk about the people that make it happen out here.
My mom, my dad, XUC, Queen Racing, Sandcraft, SGI, Bikeman, ZRP, and everyone else.
Well, there it is, short and sweet. I'm going to get out of the way. You guys smile to rally. Hold up those trophies any way you want. Congratulations, Jackson Levy. Is Stephanie Warapius, did she come back in, or where's she at? Where's she at? Is Stephanie here? Where's she at? Steph? I got her? All right. She is. There she is. I was hoping she got out. I just wanted to talk to her because what a race she did. Are you mom?
Yep.
Man, what was going on out there in the radio?
Oh, it was hectic.
And what happened? What took her out?
You know, I don't even know. She was pushing herself as much as she could, and you know, unfortunate situations happen.
Well, man, she definitely was out there, and she was one of the tough ones out there. So she definitely had a target on her back, too. Lots of bumping with her. But she held her own, and, man, tell her the announcer said, what a great race.
Oh, yeah, she definitely held her own. I think she's going to be happy, but really disappointed, unfortunately. But, you know, racing's racing.
Well, she's always awesome, and she's awesome to talk to on here, so tell her I miss her up here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thank you.
We'll see her tomorrow, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. She'll be out there.
All right, Mama said Stephanie's good to go, and hopefully we'll get her up here tomorrow. Tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what. Mia Chapman, what race do we have up next?
We have our pro and amateur turbo class coming on track next.
This is going to be an exciting race, so hopefully we get it happen. Just a few more races to go. They didn't have one. While we've been talking about it, as the day goes on, the class gets faster. Here we are with the pro and amateur turbos. I'm going to put on my sweatshirt. Why don't you tell them who we got in this race?
Starting off in our pro class, we have the 64 of Ryder Van Beekum. Right next to him, the 191 of Connor Maxwell. Row number 2, the 93 of Kyle Arcanaugh. And right next to him, the 64 of Robert Van Beekum. Rounding out that last row, the 704 of Dan Kelly and the 333 of Brian McCormick.
It just all of a sudden got cold.
And then starting first in our amateur turbo class, we have the 32 of Ryder Chapman. Right next to him, the 560 of Ryan Denny. Row number 2, the 388 of Brandon Birmingham, and the 733 of Andre Tomei. And rounding out that row, the 2202 of Glenn Banta. We've been talking about this all day. He's finally hopping in a car to go out there and race and have some fun.
Well, he's very nervous. I gave him a little bit of an interview. He didn't really enjoy me giving him an interview, but I know everybody here at Core, we've definitely become quite the family over the past year. This is their third year. First year for me. But their first year, they just kind of put it all together. But now things are real here, and everything's come full circle. They got me, they got you, they got Casey Kane, they got a lot of the people that were back from the old days. But Glenn's a great person. I love working for him. So I know everybody here with the red shirt on right now has got their eyes on the 2202 car. It is Bobby Van Beekam's backup car, and he's nervous. But I have to remind everybody out there, as I told Mia Chapman, he is a racer, okay? His concerns are he doesn't have enough seat time in the car, so he doesn't know the car very well. But I have a feeling the racer in him is going to come back. I'll give him a lap or two, and I bet he's out there making a challenge for a pass.
Definitely, yeah. I think he's in a pretty solid car, so yeah, he should have some fun out there.
I have to agree with you, Mia Chapman. So, all right, still going to be a great race. Your brothers out there. We got the pros, we got the amateurs, and as we've been seeing, it's going to be a great race. So here we go. They're coming down the front straight. We're going to take the green this time around. Here we go. A little bit of a weird start there, but I'm cool with that. Separating the classes at least on a flag like that. And look at this, Ryan Denny this weekend. She is simply on rails, and I think this has been one of the best races she's had since I've seen her race. But right now, no surprise over the pros. It's Connor Maxwell out front in the 191 car. And Mia Chapman, I'm going to make no apologies for it. I'm a Connor Maxwell fan. He is one of the most aggressive racers I've seen in a long, long time. And I don't mean aggressive as angry or mean, but I'm saying he talks it, he walks it, and then he shows it. And I'm a fan, man. And he's fast. I mean, let's be honest. Look who he's holding off right now, the Van Beekams. And Connor Maxwell is not afraid to bump out there to do some rubbing. Man, Mia Chapman, one thing I will say about the Van Beekams, both Ryder and Bobby Van Beekam right now, when their cars, when everything is working in synchronicity, they haul the mail. Those cars are so fast. They are fast drivers. That cars, I mean, watch them come through here. And they're different. Their chassis are different. Everything's different. Look at their cars. Bobby Van Beekam to the moon right now. Bobby Van Beekam's car seems to be nosediving over a little bit, but he's dealing with it. And Connor Maxwell right now taking command of this race early. And back to the amateurs, Ryan Denny.
You know, I got to talk about that save from my brother real quick. You know, him and Ryan went into turn one, bumped a little bit, got on the bike, almost into wall, put it back down.
I didn't see
very
it.
Very nerve-wracking, very close racing between these two.
Well, I'm very proud of Ryan Denny. I've been watching her career pretty much since its inception. And very proud of her right now. We know your brother, he is definitely one of the fastest drivers out there. I kind of like the way that they separated the classes right now with their own flag. And look at this. Ryder Van Beekam now challenging Connor Maxwell. Wow, he's like, hey, Connor, I'm in the pro class now. I got you. Wow. Look at that. Ryder Van Beekam not going to lift coming into turn two. He wants to get around Connor Maxwell very bad. But back to your brother and Ryan Denny. Ryan Denny driving the race of her life right now. And Ryan, I'm so proud of you. Your brother alongside the race now between Ryan Denny and Ryder Chapman. Connor Maxwell. Now Bobby Van Beekem getting into the battle here. They got a three-way battle for the lead. I don't know. I'll tell you what. You keep your eyes on your brother. I don't know what else to do here. Both classes right now are putting on a race.
I gotta say, I love the father-son battle going on
too.
right now. It is awesome.
They're looking great, and they're playing nice together. It is awesome. They haven't bumped once. Ryder Van Beekem to the outside. Bobby staying clean in a narrow part, but they're still side by side going into turn 4. What the heck? Oh! Ryder Van Beekem pumps Connor Maxwell. Me and Chapman, we got the race of the weekend going on right now. What a three-way battle we got going on between Connor Maxwell, Ryder Van Beekem, and Bobby Van Beekem as they come down the front straightaway. All three cars within mere fractions of a second of each other. Bobby Van Beekem. Bobby showing you why he's the dad. Ryder Van Beekem doing a great job keeping it clean. And Connor Maxwell, I don't know if he can detect him, but they are not. He's got a father and a son right, chasing him down. The race of the weekend happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you're out there watching it live or you're watching it here, this is the race.
Here he goes for the pass. He makes it. Wow, this battle right now is absolutely crazy.
So I was wondering why that 12 West car, number 333, is so fast. That's Brian McCormick out there.
Yeah.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, where you at? You better applaud that. That was a great first half of racing.
Man, between both classes, it's a little hard to keep up with all of it.
This is a little overwhelming. No, it's not a little overwhelming. It's a lot of overwhelming. And Dan Kelly, we were talking about it being a make it or break it. He's out in turn 3, and man, he is a checkers or wreckers. Like I said, I absolutely love Dan Kelly. Have the utmost respect for him. A very tough competitor. But man, that boy, you know what I'm saying. That's about it. I love the guy. But man, Mia Chapman, I'm with you. I don't know which race to watch. Ryan Denny right now, as far as I'm concerned, driving the race of her life right now. I mean, wow. So Brian McCormick there is the last of the pros. Kyle Arkanai out there watching the battle between father and son. Brian McCormick right there in the 333 car. Ryan Denny and Ryder Chapman, and pretty much every car enjoying a good race.
That blue groove really starting to come into the track makes it a little tough depending on, how your car's set up, what tires you're running, tire pressure, because it can definitely get slick pretty quick. It's basically like driving on glass once you hit that blue groove. So, yeah, definitely an interesting component into this last race.
If you've ever driven one of those trikes that are either gas powered or electric powered, and they have the plastic, they air down the tire and slide the plastic over and then air up the tire again, and they have the plastic. If you've ever driven one of those, that could be exactly what the blue groove feels like, even though you're full traction and you're getting everything. Blue groove is definitely not your friend. One man that we haven't been paying attention to, but I think he's been doing fine. Glenn Banta out there.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Doing great.
Heck yeah.
He did say he was just going to be going around the track and just kind of getting used to it, but I think he's actually doing 100% exactly as good as I thought he would be. Well, I mean, we talked about it. He is a racer. I remember when I came back here in the Bronco, my first race wasn't anything to write home about, but I didn't come in last, thank God. And it is. You have to. Short course racing is a different beast. You're fast. You can set the car up. You can drive well, but it's everything. All right. Well, here we go. Mia Chapman, the second half. Whoa! That was weird. Let's hope that Connor Maxwell not going into lit mode. There it is, the R&R Steel team. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. Kyle Ark now challenging Bobby Van Beekem as he goes wide into turn 2. And there's your brother, Ryder Chapman, challenging Brian McCormick and Ryan Denny. She wants that first place back from your brother. I can always tell when a mistake happens with Ryder Chapman, whether I'm watching or not, because I know his sister is. But all right, back to racing. Connor Maxwell leading it from wire to wire. 1, 2, and 3. What the heck, Brian McCormick? Brian McCormick. What about a 200-foot jump right there? Brian McCormick having to get all the gas. Boom, boom, boom. We got to do something about that front straightaway jump for sure. Connor Maxwell now, his hands full with Bobby Van Beekem and Kyle Arcana. And Ryder Van Beekem now back to 4th. Watching his 2 teammates out front, one of them being his dad. Kyle Arcana with a little bit throwing that car in there. And Connor Maxwell just as smooth as glass right now. In fact, I have not seen one mistake that Connor Maxwell has made so far. Bobby wants this race, and he got it! Bobby Van Beekem to the lead! You know what? To make big changes, you got to take big risks.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was a big risk.
That was a big one. And what's crazy, as I was going to comment earlier, Bobby's car in the front, he's not just nose diving off this one. He's nose diving off everyone but the ski jump. The car is set perfect for the ski jump, but if you watch Bobby hit the back straightaway, he's nose diving off that too. So that tells me that, for me, I'd slow the rebound down tremendously in the rear right now. I'm talking 4 full clicks, 4 or 5 full clicks in the rear.
Yeah, these jumps are tough. It seems like everybody's kind of battling the same issue now of nosing over, a lot of the tabletops.
Well, here we go.
Jumps.
I agree. Bobby Van Beekem once again gets the white flag. Played it a little cool. Connor Maxwell as well. And now Kyle Arcana and Ryder Van Beekem sideways in turn 1. Ryan Denny now back out front. And Brian McCormick finds himself in the middle of the battle for 1st and 2nd in the amateurs. Ryder almost throwing it away there, but was able to recoup. In turn 2, a little bit wide there. But didn't look like it cost him anything. Now Ryder Chapman, I don't think he's going to have anything for Ryan Denny. And Connor Maxwell with his first mistake that I just saw right there in turn 5. Well, here it is down the front straightaway. R&R Steel coming down the front straight. One more jump to negotiate. Bobby Van Beekem, your winner and Connor Maxwell, and we should have Kyle Arkenaugh in on third with Ryder Van Beekem right behind him. And Ryan Denny, your winner, with Ryder Chapman right behind her. What a race, Mia Chapman. How can you summarize this race?
I'd say controlled chaos. I feel like was the race
Wow.
the entire time.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of good battles, a lot of really talented drivers in this one. You really didn't know where to look because there was so much going on, but man, that was a good race.
Man, I'm not going to lie. I agree with every single thing you're saying. It was very chaotic, but exciting to watch. I think this is why we come to the races and watch the races. You want to see this. I think it did make it hard as a commentator to know which battle to look at because there was so much going on right there. So I hope I make sense of it when we get down there. But, wow, congratulations. Connor Maxwell, what a great race. You know, I didn't see any mistakes up to and included when Bobby got around you. Smooth as could be. But Bobby just showed why he is one of the fast drivers here in this class. So we're going to talk with the drivers. Stick around.
That's racing. That's just racing. Welcome to the pros. That's welcome. That was a pro move. I sent it to the moon. I sent that one to the moon.
You did, and that's exactly what I said. Bobby Van Beekem said it. I'm telling you what. Right there. I'm telling you what. Exactly what I said.
From that corner, I never looked at. I'm like, I know where I can get him.
All right, gentlemen, come on up here. Let's get this podium over with. You guys can talk about it. Come on, come on. Kyle Arkenaugh with a big old grin on his face. Connor Maxwell, come on. Well, Kyle Arkenaugh, you stayed in. That was a great race. It was incredible to announce because we had two fronts, and both fronts were on fire, man. There was competition in both of them. You stayed back there. You stayed smooth. You stayed clean. You watched for some mistakes, and you were able to get in right there. And once you got it, you just didn't hand it back to anybody.
Well, you know, we made some adjustments after qualifying, and the car was pushing a little bit more than what I'd like to, but we were just kind of hanging there and try to stay with the front runners.
Well, I mean, I couldn't tell from my vantage point. It looked smooth. We weren't telling from our spot that you haven't any kind of problem like that. Well, good job. Third place, man. You had to get it around a teammate. Watching the battle early between these three, it was absolutely amazing, but you stayed right there and you were able to get it done.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Let's talk about the people that make it happen for you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank God. R&R Still Racing, they obviously do a lot for me. Dangerson Off-Road, Arkansas Landscaping, Trontech, and G4 Racing, and a bunch of other companies that go into making our program happen. So we're just happy to be here all the way from Indianapolis.
That's right. Kyle Arkenaugh makes the drive. Big.
And my girlfriend Peyton. For putting
You better tap me on that one. Hey, my girlfriend Peyton. All right, there it is. Kyle Arkenaugh, everybody. Well, Connor Maxwell, man. If one thing I've learned, man, You remember Ricky Johnson? They called him the bad boy racing, man. I got to give that to you, man. You are so exciting to watch. The first half of the race, you hit every mark. You were on point. But, man, the Van Beekums that was the first race of the weekend. Top 3 people were giving it their all, and you just gave it your all, man. That was an incredible thing to watch.
Yeah, that one stings a little bit. I wanted to get a win. There's one more guy I got to beat after Bobby, and that's Weller. So get those back from last year and just put a good race together. That was my first time leading in a while. So just trying to hold the insides and make sure I covered all my bases. And Bobby slipped up the inside of me there with 2 laps to go, and it was a race to the finish. And unfortunately, I finished second.
Well, exciting to watch. Don't be hard on yourself, my man. Like I said, I'm a fan of yours. You just drove your butt off, and that was amazing, and it was good to watch.
Yep. Yeah. Always checkers or wreckers, man. I'm not here. I'm not here to be a team player, be a person out there getting just a regular result. I'm here to win and put on a show. So checkers or wreckers.
You've made it very clear. Congratulations. All right, let's hear about the people that make your race program happen.
Got to give it up to the whole 2X Motorsports crew. Randy, Jacob, Trey, Ryder, myself, my dad, Dave. We bust our ass every day of the week. We had to tune a bunch of cars this week with the new tool for the 170s. So. Give it a shout out to those guys. We were working late. I had to do all the prep on my own car, so thank God it stayed together.
All right, very good. Connor Maxwell, one more time, hit all his marks. But this man right here, in order to get around this monster, you had to go to the moon off the jump. The time that you were hanging in the jump, you could have needle drop. Because, man, you sent it to the moon.
Yeah, well, I knew that was the only place where I needed to pass him clean. That way no one can say I touched him. I passed him clean right through the air over top of his ass. But
that was some of the cleanest racing I've seen in a long time. You guys were just feet apart, you and your son. It was incredible.
No, it was actually, that was one of the funnest races I think I've ever done, to be honest with you. Battle back and forth with Ryder at least, 4 or 5 different times. We switched positions, and I'd take it from him. And the minute I take it from him, he'd come back and take it from me. He has that turn 1 down fat, and he would just take it right back from me. His car's just got a little more bite than I do in the corner. He would just take it from me every time, and neither one of us was letting go. As you tell, we were hitting hard with each other. Both were rubbing on each other a lot. It was a great race for all these guys. It was great. You know, it was fun because Ryder was on Connor, and then I was on Ryder, and Connor was on Ryder. We were literally inches from each other. You guys see, and obviously back and forth the whole time. And we were actually probably touching each other's bumpers the whole time, back and forth.
I can't wait for you to watch the replay, man. That's exactly the way I called it. You must have heard what I said.
Yeah, Connor races like we like to race. We're not out to take each other out. We're race to give you guys a show and race to win. You know.
Well, that definitely showed. All right, let's hear that long list of people that make it happen over here.
Well, first of all, I need to thank my team. You know, obviously we all have a great team. I think Matt and Kevin, my spotter, and then my son's Ryder's been building our engines now for the last 2 years, and with Rob teaching him how to do it, it's been a great. We had PPI tuned our Can-Ams this year. All the rest we kind of do on our own. You know. Helping us out a lot, but we do have some great sponsors. Can-Ams really helped us out this year, and we actually, believe it or not, we still have players helping us out this year. So we have some great people out there. Jimmy Owens, XMF. We have, Weller's been on top of the game with everybody else. We've had, whether they sponsor or not, they're there to help. And if I needed something from 2X, they'd come give it to me too. You know, we're the same way. We're all here to race. So thank God. Thank the Lord for having us here and everybody's safe. Obviously, so we flew to the moon and no accidents. And let's get us home safe and let's get ready for tomorrow's racing.
Perfectly said. That's Bobby Van Beekum. Never get out of the way of this pro class. Kyle Arkin, Connor Maxwell, and your winner, Bobby Van Beekum. All right. One more race to go after this. Congratulations. Let's talk to the amateurs. Get on up here. This race too. I don't know if you guys are gonna, when you go back to watch the replay on this. Very proud. This young lady, she earned it. I'm so ecstatic for her. Yeah. Very good. Very, very good. All right. Brandon Birmingham, you did a great job out there. Lots of stuff going on out there. It was incredible to watch the leaders of both races going on, and you got it done here to third place.
Yeah, they didn't make it easy for me. I was trying to put a tire in on them and try to do something, but couldn't get around them.
Man, it was still exciting to watch. Very exciting to announce as well. All right, well, still great to watch. You got it here. You're on the podium. Let's talk about the people that got you here.
My mom and dad, for sure. My wonderful girlfriend, Copper State Collision, Stacy Store, AIP, and Sandcraft, and Fodrell.
All right, Brian Birmingham, everybody doing a great job. But, man, Ryder Chapman, your sister, great race out there, and I can always tell when you either make a mistake or get up on the bike or come too fast over a jump because your sister either drops the mic, puts her hands on her face, doesn't want to watch the race anymore. But man, so you had a few of those on this race.
Yeah, track's been real rutted. Car's been biking, but I'm also second year in the turbo car, so still figuring out, getting comfortable in it. It was good though. It was running good. It was just a lot of traffic. Once that Pro R got in between us, there wasn't really any way around that. That's a big car. But it was running her hard. She was right there the whole time. I was right behind her. It was a good race. Almost lost it right there going into 4. That was real close. I thought I was going over. Glad I was able to save that. And then in the RS1 class, that car was great. Just broken axle, so can't win it off a broken axle.
Yeah, that's all right, man. You're still looking great out there, and that was still a great race.
Yeah, it was great. This was fun. It was good being inches apart from each other the whole time. It was most definitely intense. It was enjoyable.
All right, let's talk about the people that make it happen for you.
My mom, my dad, Extreme Machine Fabrication, R&R Steel, Bob, Rob Muzzy, E2R Shocks, Rugged Radios, and I think that's it right now.
All right, very good. Well, I'll tell you what I got to do. I am so proud of who I get to announce right now. Your winner, Ryan Denny. Girl, you're going to go back and watch my announcement. I say, oh, my God, this girl is the race of her life right now. To beat this young man, you took it. They didn't hand it to you. They didn't make mistakes. You took it. They were chasing you.
Yeah, I definitely had to work for it. This one, my arms pumping. I can barely feel my arms at this point.
I'm so proud of you, man. It looks so great. And like I said, you're going to hear me announce it. I'm sure you're going to go back and watch the replay. This feels good when you get the win and you earned it.
Yeah, I haven't been up here in a couple months, so it feels great to be back up here.
All right, very good. Well, let's talk about the people that make it happen for you.
I want to thank my mom and my dad for everything that they do for me. A huge shout out to 2X for all their help and always putting time in on my car. 518 Designs, Torco Fuels, and anything else that helped, anybody else that helped me. Thank you.
Woo! I'm so proud of this young lady. I'm going to come down here while the pictures are being taken. Man, did you see what I saw? I mean, she earned it. She raced it. She just showed off that she is a racer.
You know what, Ryder Chapman, I got to give it up to him. We've been hanging with those guys. Joe's helped us forever. Ryder's a badass and gave us all we can handle. Fortunately, we won this one. Tomorrow's another one, so I give it up to those guys. They're great people. So
there it is, man. That's why I wanted to get that interview right there. Congratulations, Mia Chapman. We got one more race to go, and I think she's down here. She is down here somewhere because Ryder was in the race. All right. All right. Stick around. One more to go. Indeed. My girlfriend up here, she just said that was a good race. Yes, it was. Well, we got one more to go. Make sure I got it right. I don't see a page on here, so if we got one more to go. The Youth NA Open, is that right? Indeed. So if I have this right, which I probably do or don't, I don't know. It is going to be the Youth NA Open. It is the 87 of Mark Queen Jr., the 951 of Brian Willett, the 155 of Carson Greco, Jackson Howdegee in there, the 149. Casey Cummins in the 622 and the 899 car, driven by Ryleen Bernstein. So, man, last race of the day. But Mia Chapman, that race we just witnessed, I mean, you know, it's very rare that I'm at a loss for words, Matt, or don't know how to explain it. But there was so much, let's call it racing spirit. How about that? Like the spirit of racing, of why we race, going on in both classes, and then they were on the track at the same time, and they were able to stay clean with each other. And like Bobby said, what I just witnessed between Ryder and Bobby Van Beekum, and man, I'm sorry, I'm a Connor Maxwell fan. He is, I mean, he's the bad boy. He's just badass. He's fast and he's exciting to watch. And those three just put on the race of the weekend, as far as I'm concerned so far. So, great race. Look at how rutted turn 3 is. Mia Chapman, that looks like a whoop section at a desert race.
It does, yeah. This track's definitely going to need a good grooming after this last race, but it's held together pretty good all day. It always tends to get a little worse towards the end of the day, probably around our last 3 races. So a lot of laps and a lot of cars on it all day will definitely do that.
Oh, Kelvin. You know he's going to work on this thing till midnight tonight like he always does. And I'm sure it'll be perfect for tomorrow. And so, Kelvin, if you're out there, well, let's talk more about our sponsors. HMD. I can't say enough about HMD out of Tempe. They got wraps, they got graphics, they got banners, they got everything you need. They're a one-stop shop. Stickers, everything you need. I mean, everything you need. Event tents, just like the ones we got. Everything HMD, and I just can't say enough about HMD. And they're actually out here today. So HMD, we are so fortunate to have you out here. Wraps, tinning, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. If you need some, call HMD first. If they can't do it, they know somebody who does, I bet you. So, all right, Mia Chapman, the final race of the day. We're anxiously awaiting the start out there. New cameras that we have, kind of modern and different. They look like a gun turret off a Navy battleship. Here we go. Green flag, they stayed clean. Now Brian Willett back in his car, the 951 that we're familiar with, but Mark Queen Jr. As they go into turn 1, Mark Queen Jr., your number 1 qualifier. Brian Willett says, I don't care. Follow me around. Pam K out there says, Declan is my grandson. I'm so proud of him. Well, Pam K, you are correct. Declan did a great job after having a early incident in the same car, and he was able to get that car back together and get back out there to make that race. So, yeah, Declan Shields, after being checked out, was able to get it all back together and get second place on the podium. A big pile up, our leader to the side. Now collect a bunch of the other cars. Let's see how this shapes up. I do believe that's going to hand the win, the lead over. I think we're going to have Carson Greco out front. Let's find out. Indeed, Carson Greco, the 155, the 149 now of Jackson Howdegee, right next to Brian Willett. Jackson Howdegee now inheriting 3rd place. I'm very proud of the live video that we've been shooting today. We've been really leaning on the drones and our new remote control cameras that we have. And they really do look like the turret on a modern day battleship. They are really cool, made by Panasonic. Oh, that's a big mistake right there. Going off the track, but didn't seem to cause any loss of points. And that was Brian Willett that had to take that little detour, and now Jackson Howdigi still rounding off your top three. Turn 6 seeming to be the tough turn of the track. You can see all the lines here on turn 6 right there in the middle of your screen right now of all the lines of the cars that have gone off. So Carson Greco out front. And another car. Turn 6, the turn, yeah. There's your leader going under the American flag. Great shot there. You can see the freeway in the background and the new Intel plant in the background. And we had a car turn around, the Jackson Howdigi car. Look at this. Another race where we are just all over the place, me and Chapman. It's a great shot out there, and you know it's crazy, that shot of the ski jump right there is done by the camera right here in front of us. So I gotta give it up, these new cameras, I think, are all right. So Casey Cummins out there, and the only car that is a shifter car, that is the Yamaha that has a clutch. As they come around down the front straightaway, Carson Greco still out front. Whoa, Carson Greco almost thrown it away. So Carson Greco right now gonna have to play it safe. Little wide there going in and out, or coming out of turn 4. Now if you're looking ahead of Carson Greco and you're seeing a car there, that's Mark Queen Jr., but he is actually at the tail end of this lap. Now, the reason why you're seeing him in the frame with your leader right there, Carson Greco, is because Mark Queen had a little mishap, and that's where he came out. And Mark Queen has the speed to stay with Carson Greco. So if Mark Queen could have been in position, he might have had the speed necessary to challenge Carson Greco for the lead.
Definitely, yeah. This competition yellow should help him kind of regroup, catch back up, and hopefully try to keep up with the leaders. Looking at the lap times, he's not far off. I mean, really, the whole row really is really close in times. Let's see, 106, 107, 110. I mean,
And they're all really close. They're just in different spots of the track, given that lap time in there. And now here's where we go, the argument, or not the argument, the debate rather, on the competition yellow. This is exactly why we have it. So now a driver like Mark Queen Jr. can get back in there in the battle, and possibly, as you just pointed out, their lap times are very comparable. And, you know, you'd hear him racing because he's going to have to race all the way to the end of this. And he can do that. If he's got open track, he can race all the way to the back end. But the problem is he can't pass number 622. So basically, if 622 doesn't get back in line, now Mark Queen can at least pick up 622, as we're just watching there, the 622 car of Casey Cummins. And more than likely, Mark Queen Jr. will do that, exactly that. Will take the position from Casey Cummins. Well, there they are. You can see the sunlight in their eyes. You can actually, the camera is so clear, you can actually see their eyes inside their helmet. If they're not a tinted lens, you can see it. That's crazy.
yeah, that turn's definitely got to be tough with the sun in your eyes, along with the blue groove. Just a lot going on in that turn.
They say that there are some drivers that do the outlaw racing, you know, the round-and-round cars. They say that there are some drivers that know the course so well, they can do it with their eyes closed. They know where to put the car sideways and when to lift. And I don't doubt that, because I knew there was a motocross track in California when I used to race motocross, and I mean, I knew right where all the braking points, you know, every hit was right where your marks were. So now it's probably not so much this way because there's lots of lefts and rights here, but that's that section of the course. You just hope that you have trained your body. Well, Mia Chapman, here we go, the second half. This is the last half of round one of 2025. How exciting. Carson Greco out front. Brian Willits. And now the Howdige car back up there. Jackson Howdige, 1, 2, 3. Carson Greco, Brian Willett, and Jackson Howdige. Well, if you're out there in YouTube land and you want any more questions asked or answered, do so now at the live chat. This will be your last chance here. We're only 5 laps away, or let me look up, 3 laps rather, according to the overlay. And as I said, Mark Queen Jr. already around the 622 car of Casey Cummins. So now that's going to put Mark Queen now able to challenge Jackson Howdige and maybe get into the Jackson Howdige deal. And if anybody can do it, Mark Queen can do it. Well, at this point, Mia Chapman, Carson Greco with a commanding lead. Brian Willett getting caught up on one of the ruts there in turn 3. A little bit of an error by Brian Willett. I don't think it cost him any position. The blue groove really bad right now here in turn 4 and turn 5. Wow. Oh, and Brian Willett right there showing you why that blue groove is it's rough. The track is just, it's gone. It's gone.
It's definitely taken a beating today, and you can see it, you know, on the cameras that are showing on the live feed.
Well, you know, all I got to say to that is, anyway, I think I was talking about it earlier today, is if the track's, oh, what a save, Brian Willett in turn 1. But here's what I was just going to say. If Brian Willens dealing with it, so is Carson Greco. So is Mark Queen Jr. There is what I said. Mark Queen now already up in third place. As I said, if he gets back on the lead lap right behind them, he could have a chance. So the point is, every car has to deal with the ruts that every other car has to deal with. You can bicycle, you can slow down, you can do whatever, but it definitely adds another element into off-road racing, and this is off-road racing, unfortunately. It's not the ideal track condition, but if you're dealing with it, so is everybody else out there. And I've said that true and true, and it may not be the right sentiment to take with that, but it's the sentiment I take. Everybody's dealing with the ruts, the blue groove, the marbles, and whatever. White flag flies. Your leader, Carson Greco. And Brian Willett will take the white flag as well, but I just don't think Brian Willett's going to have anything for Carson Greco. And Brian Willett already bicycling, and Mark Queen spinning out. Can he get the car back around before Jackson Howdigi comes around? But now Howdigi's going to want a battle with Mark Queen. Now Brian Willett having some trouble in. There he goes. Turn 3 okay. Brian Willett had trouble in turn 5. Carson Greco 2 more turns away from the checkered flag. Brian Willett on the bike on the tarmac. And Brian Willett shows why he's one of my favorite racers as well, right there. Great job, Brian Willett. And there it is, Mark Queen Jr. rounding off your top 3. Well, Mia Chapman, round 1 of the 2025 Championship Off-Road Racing Series is now in the history books. Let's reflect on today, man. What were the highlights and some of the other things for today for you?
I think just watching all the battles between the classes and being able to keep it pretty relatively clean is always awesome to see, and just to see all the drivers, come into this year with so much growth and development is cool to see too. So yeah, definitely a great way to end our last race of the day. A wild one for sure, but we made it through.
Man, great job, and I do think that's a great summary as well. Lots of carnage this weekend. You heard Bobby Van Beekem say a lot of cars losing transmissions and things like that. But man, I think Kelvin's gonna work his magic tonight and make this track. Yeah, and I think we've got Glenn involved. I think Glenn wants to change the track quite a bit as well. So hopefully we have a much better track here for tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what, Mia Chapman, we got one more interview to go on the podium, and if you want to meet me down there, we can close it out. She said, no, it's all you. I know. What'd you guys think about that race right there? Good job, Mark Queen. Hey, I said it, man. If Mark Queen gets back on this lead lap here, he's going to have to race all the way around to do it, but he has the ability to get here on the podium.
Yeah, definitely.
I believed in you.
Thank you.
And you did it.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Tell us what was going on there for the race. What took you out on the first half?
Willett came around, spun out. I hit him. I lost power steering. It wouldn't come back on, and then I pulled off track, came back on, so then I just motoed and came out with the third.
And you had to race the whole time. You couldn't take a break on the mandatory caution.
No.
All right, well, very good. Well, I had faith in you, and you delivered. Well, great job. Let's talk about the people that make it happen for you.
Queen Racing, K&N, Shock Therapy, Upfit, Cryo Heat, XTC, MRT, and everyone else that helps me out.
All right, Mark Queen Jr., everybody do a great job getting it done. You're in third place. But a young man that I say all the time, I'm a big fan of him. Brian Willett, you definitely did not disappoint, man. Great race there. You had a lot of issues, man. You were battling the divots. You put it up on the bike probably 10 times. Even spun out once, but, man, you got it done to second place.
Yeah, I spun out twice, actually, in the same turn, and then ended up going off track because I couldn't see anything. But gladly I was able to catch back up and made a couple mistakes, but we can fix those.
You definitely looked great. I guarantee coming out of turn 4 right into that sun, you're just memorizing the track, man. You just from memory.
Oh, yeah. Well, with dirt, with mud, and the sun on my visor, I couldn't see when to brake for that turn, so it was kind of scary going into it and almost lost it right there.
For some reason, I just happened to see almost every one of them out there, so great job. Well, hey, you got it done second place. Not a bad way to open up the season.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to thank Willett Motorsports, IMG Motorsports, my mom, my dad, and my family.
All right, very good, Brian Willett. Everybody, great job, second place. But this show, man, Carson Greco, dude, you're on fire today. You just got out front, and that was it.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yep.
Just me doing me.
Yep.
All right, well, very good. Coming into the 2025 season, what does this do for the rest of the season for you?
Puts me in first and second in points.
All right, very good. Congratulations on that. Well, let's talk about the people that make it happen one more time.
Yeah, I like to thank my mom, my dad, Connor Maxwell for helping with everything, 2X Motorsports, R&R Steel, Hoosier Tire, Renegade, and Brandon from Evo Mode for tuning my car.
All right, very good, short and sweet. I'm getting out of the way. Your final race of the day. And man, oh man, where's our camera? Oh, there it is. Mia Chapman. I think we gotta do it into the sun. Let's see if he can get us. All right, let's do it right here. And we're gonna put the sun right behind him. How does that work? Well, Mia Chapman, a great day of racing, 2025 now. It's firmly here, and we've got a short 4-race schedule here, and it's all right here at Firebird for the first half. What a great way to start off the season.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Definitely a great day of racing, a lot of great battles out here, and yeah, just a great way to start off the 2025 season.
Man, some big highlights over here. Lots of carnage here today because of the track. That accident that we saw earlier with Sam, that was quite a wreck, and I really don't like to see a race have to have that going through.
Yeah, definitely awful to watch, but always good to see the drivers come out of it, okay and walking. So, yeah, I'm sure he's going to be sore tomorrow, but just glad to see him walk away from that.
All right, very good. A good performance today, too, from your brother, Ryder Chapman. He was on top of the podium on every race, and I think a lot of racers met the marks of it. I know the R&R Steel crew, they got to be happy.
Definitely, yeah. Pretty decent day for the R&R team, but weekend's not over. We still got a full day of racing tomorrow, so we'll see what's in store.
All right, let's wrap this up and tell you what. On behalf of Core Racing, I'm Mark Wright.
I'm Mia Chapman.
And we're going to say see you for today. We'll see you tomorrow for second round.